Hey folks, it's the CIF Game of the Week on Riverside TV. It's the CIF Championship between CSDR and Faith Baptist. Bradford Evans joined with Jeff Gorham here to talk about this one. Number 1 versus number 2 in the 8-man football Division II section. Jeff, give me your thoughts on this game between Faith Baptist and CSDR.
Well, first of all, 51 years a Riverside resident, I have not been more excited to call a football game here in the city of Riverside. CSDR looking for their first championship. I remember the days of Pete Lanzi, a great coach in the area, but never reached that pinnacle of success.
Yeah, the first time that they're in the championship game for their entire athletics program in 68 years. CSDR has not made the championship game. Here they are tonight, hoping to make history here, Jeff.
Yeah, and this isn't just the first CIF appearance. This is the first CIF appearance championship of any kind in the school's history. This is something special, and they've got a lot going for them tonight, especially on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah, offensive side of the football, it's going to all rely on Trevin Adams, the quarterback, kind of running back as well, does everything for him. 49 touchdowns passing, 24 rushing, so he's a pretty darn good player.
Tom Brady-esque, I would like to say. And I'm telling you what, this is an underclassmen team. They are all juniors, 2 seniors. They're going to be good for years to come.
Yeah, definitely. And folks, we're going to pass it over to Pep Fernandez over on the sideline.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Bradford. Join us here live on the sideline. She is the superintendent for the California School for the Deaf in Riverside, Dr. Nancy Leibach-Amen. And Dr. Amen, what a special night for the Cubs football team, but also for this community. What does it mean for this school district and this school?
Yeah, I don't think I need that. Feel free to keep that for yourself. It's a big honor. It's a big honor to have tonight's game with our amazing opponents here. I think most importantly is seeing the students, our staff, players, coaches, to show the world what we are capable of. We are the best. And even better that we're having the game here in Riverside. Where else? Where could you have a better place?
You mentioned the world. You have gotten national headlines for this football team. What's it like getting all this recognition and publicity for this football program and the school?
I haven't slept well for the last maybe 10 days at this point, with a lot of excitement for our school and our Cubs. They're so humble. They do their best every day. And now this discovery, we've always done great things all along. And this football team is really pushing us even further, more than we could have even imagined, truly.
Now, Doctor, the football team has never won a CIF Southern Section football championship. You're playing in one tonight. What would it mean to bring home a championship for the Cubs?
I'm trying to imagine what it's going to feel like after the game, after we win the game. That feeling. You know, honestly, it'll be like being on cloud 9 for weeks and weeks and months and months. It's been a great morale boost for the entire community, the community at large, not just our school, but the overall community. And sports brings people together. With people having their disagreements, conflicts at times, you play with heart on the field, and you complete with that mentality of team attitude and approach, and that applies to our day-to-day interactions, and it's quite inspiring. I hope that this game sends a strong message worldwide. The message of the value of playing this game, playing against other teams with positivity, with positive excitement and eagerness. And I hope that this lasts for a long time. What a great way to start the holidays, right? Finish off the rest of this year.
A big crowd tonight, a championship on the line, and a ton of community support. I don't think it gets any better than this, Doctor.
We are going to finish this evening with a bang. That's the goal. And you guys better be supporting our team.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Dr. Nancy Leibach-Amen joining us here on Riverside TV. Bradford, Jeff, back up to you guys.
CIF championship for 8-man football in Division II. It's a very special game. I'm Bradford Evans, joined with Jeff Gorham. It's Faith Baptist versus the California School for the Deaf of Riverside. This is a big game, as it's the first CIF championship game in school history for CSDR.
Well, I'll tell you what, growing up here in Riverside, I mentioned I had 51 years this week. I've been a member of the city of Riverside. I've been entrenched with the city here, and I'll tell you what, we've talked a lot about championships with John W. North, where we are at today. We've talked about Riverside Poly, Ramona, all the big schools. But I'll tell you what, looking forward to this game, I think it goes down in the annals as one of my favorite times as CSDR is playing for their very first CIF championship. Not just in football, but any sport, and we're talking a storied career of athletics at CSDR, but finally the pinnacle of success.
Yeah, so much success under Pete Lanzini, 1965-1970. About 5 winning seasons for CSDR, but this really is the pinnacle for this program, and the Cubs are trending in the right direction. 12-0 on the season, 3-0 in the Victory League. But their opponent is pretty tough, Jeff. Faith Baptist contenders coming in at 9-2, and a perennial favorite in 8-man football to always get the job done. So a tough outing for CSDR, but they're here for a reason, because they're a really good football team.
Yeah, and, and that is the case. It's nationally covered. We're on ESPN. This is, Fox. Everybody's covering this big game. But the fact of the matter is they're undefeated, and they're putting up, ridiculous numbers. They've scored, how many points have they scored? 788 points, I think, this season. That is a huge amount of offense. And I'll tell you what, when you win 12 in a row, 13 in a row, you know how to win, and this is the biggest game of these young men's lives.
It absolutely is, and the biggest game in school history, as you mentioned. It is packed on the home side, as you can see both teams getting ready for the coin toss to determine who will receive and who will kick the ball off. As things are heating up here. As far as key players, though, Jeff, one guy we need to kind of touch on here is Trevin Adams, the star quarterback and linebacker for CSDR. He's the guy that makes everything go. 49 touchdowns, throwing only 3 interceptions, and 106 carries, over 1,000 yards, 24 touchdowns on the ground. So this guy can do it all, and on defense, pretty darn good player as well, leading the team in tackles.
He sounds like a mix between Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Tom Brady. I'll tell you what, the 3 things you like. You have an athletic quarterback that can throw, you have a guy that can run, and you have a guy that can win. All 3 of those guys, he emulates those kind of guys, and this is a fantastic story. Like I said, we see all the dignitaries on the field. I'm telling you, I couldn't be more excited to call this game. It looks like CSDR might have won the toss.
They won the toss, so off to a good start for the Cubs. And it looks like Faith Baptist didn't get their way in that coin toss. The crowd is clapping and cheering on their team. This is a very almost historic moment that we're being a part of, Jeff, and it's just wonderful to participate in this, win or lose for CSDR. But like we said, 12-0 for a reason. This is not just some consolation feel-good story. This is a really good football team.
And it's a great football. If those of you that haven't watched 8-man football, I'm telling you, Bradford, it's like the old Arena Football League. There's high scoring. It's like fast break basketball or football on, I shouldn't say it, but it is. It's like football on steroids. It's phenomenal. It's fun. And I'll tell you what, we're in for a treat tonight here on the campus of John W. North High School in the city of Riverside.
Yeah, 8 versus 8 here in Riverside, California, on 3rd and Chicago is where we are. It's not the Huskies that are playing, though. It is the Cubs, who are the second remaining Riverside team in the CIF championship game. That was Arlington last night, won 10-0, and here we are with CSDR really trying to get things going and make the city of Riverside proud. And you mentioned you've been here for 51 years. You've seen so many things in Riverside, and this is just a moment to take in as we have the Cubs in the championship game against the contenders. Here we go, as there's the first kickoff of the game. This one going all the way to Felix Gonzalez, who returns it, and he's one of their star receivers. And he is tackled, pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're watching this game and you're wondering, if it's the field looks a little different is because it's a narrower field because you have 8 men, so you try to make the field a tad bit smaller. It's shorter in width. I believe it's 80 yards by 43 yards. High school football is 100 yards by 53 yards, so a little different dimensions here.
Jeff, I'm not a math guy, but yes, I get what you're saying here with all the dimensions, as you can just visually see with the eyes. That it is a smaller field, and that's probably going to lead to some explosive plays, some fireworks, if you will, and it's fireworks anytime this Cubs offense is involved. As here we go from the shotgun, Trevin Adams is going to snap the ball off and take it himself. Adams barreling forward, gets a gain of 5. Good stuff on the first play of the drive of this championship game.
Yeah, I love the direct snap, and you use your fullback to do one thing. Block for me. I'm your quarterback. Let's get some yards. Let's tear up some turf here.
Yeah, absolutely tearing up the turf there on the first play of the drive. And something, for those of you who are not familiar with CSDR and how they get things going with their hand signals and stuff like that, they use different hand signals. Look over to the sideline to Coach Keith Adams to get the play call. And this is another push out direct snap for I think 3-4 yards there. So that's going to bring up 3rd and short coming up for the Cubs.
Well, and we mentioned Pete Lanzi. Pete Lanzi was a longtime coach. In fact, one of the top 3 coaches, I think, in the history of the Inland Empire in the city of Riverside. He was the first man to develop the audible. That's where you've seen the hand signals. It all came from CSDR. We'll talk a little bit more about this as the game gets going here, but the true inventors of the audible.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. I didn't even know that until Jeff brought it up. He did his homework here. A throw is caught. That's by Jory Valencia, grabbing that, the sophomore. Now has 36 receptions on this season, and the crowd roars after Trevin Adams completes a nice pass over on this near sideline as we see a replay.
And the Valencia family has been around CSDR for years. They're administrators. They've had one of the brothers was a phenomenal basketball player and played at Gallaudet University, but was an all-star in I believe in 2006. Was a great player, one of the best players we've ever had basketball-wise in the city of Riverside.
Live here on Riverside TV, Bradford Evans and Jeff Gorham on the call here. 12-0 Cubs versus Faith Baptist, who are 9-2, dropping down a division because of enrollment size at their school, so maybe not as big of a school as they normally are. There's a throw over the top and caught. What a grab by Felix Gonzalez. A bomb right on the doorstep. And man, that was a heck of a catch there, Jeff.
They called it an incomplete pass. It sure looked like a good catch to me. As we watch the replay, let's see if he drops the ball.
Yeah, I saw it looking with my eyes. It looked like he came down with it, but man, he drops it at the very end.
But looking to go deep, they're testing that secondary, and it reminds you a lot of, like I said, arena football or 7-man football. A lot of passing, a lot of great route runners by fantastic receivers here.
Adams gets a low snap, and down in the dirt, incomplete to his trusted running back, Philip Castaneda. Castaneda, kind of a do-it-all guy, 454 rushing yards and 464 receiving yards. 9 touchdowns in each category of rushing and receiving, showing he can kind of do it all here for CSDR. It just gets busier and busier by the minute in the crowd as we have a full house here on Riverside TV. Throw is almost intercepted in and out of the hands of Chase Newman, the senior for Faith Baptist.
Hello, Newman. I love it. Hey, talking about Pete Lanzi. Pete Lanzi, he was friends with my father and he's friends with a guy named Arlo Gard, who was the head coach, basketball coach at Riverside Poly. And I heard all these stories as a kid. Pete Lanzi claimed to have been involved in the first football game where penalty flags were thrown. Can you believe that? I want you to think about that. He started playing football in 1949, and he used to tell everybody, I was in the first football game where they actually threw flags. Ends up being the head coach at CSDR. I have a number of funny little stories about him, though.
Well, we'll see what happens here with Faith Baptist on the toss to the outside. This is a big run and it's DJ McDaniel skipping all the way in to the 32-yard line, and Faith Baptist off to a good start here on their first offensive play.
Yeah, just a straight handoff and just a great block there from number 7.
Yeah, that is Chris Tate-Fossian getting the nice block, and DJ McDaniel getting a big gain here for Faith Baptist, one of the powerhouses of 8-man football. Big tackle, good stuff. Coming in and plugging that one up was Daniel Flores, or pardon me, Cody Metzner. Now has 59 tackles on the season.
Yeah, just jumped the gun, got right to him. I mean, no block there. Great play by the Cubs.
Yeah, so here comes 2nd and 10 after no gain. Good stingy defense from CSDR. And we'll see what happens here on this 2nd down. Ball snapped, another run. A stiff arm as well from McDaniel. McDaniel, though, isn't going anywhere. Big play. And plugging that one up was Jory Valencia on defense. So we talked about Jory Valencia almost making that big catch on offense, but there he is making a big play on defense.
And, you know, when the teams are this small, I mean, you look, there aren't as many numbers as you see with 11-man football, and that's why they drop down to the 8-man. But everybody plays both ways, which is great. I mean, that's why you have these video game stats.
Arena football, like you said. 3rd down and long over the top and caught. Touchdown for Faith Baptist. Getting past 2 CSDR defenders is Mikey Urena. Jeff, what did you see there on the coverage?
I'll tell you what, it was just thrown right over the top. It was a perfect throw and perfect stride and just caught perfectly. And just a great play there, as we're going to see if they're going to go for 2 or they're going to kick it. And it looks like they're going to go for 2.
You do have the option in 8-man to kick the ball. It seems a little awkward with the bounds of marking, the markings on the field. As there's a throw, they're going to try to go for 2, and they get it. But it's normal, basically normal football here, Jeff. And we're actually going to, as we see a replay here on the 2-point conversion.
He just throws right over the top. Perfect strike.
Over, yeah. And now we are going to toss it over to our guy on the sidelines, Pep Fernandez. Pep, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, down here on the sideline, Faith Baptist has striked first here in this championship game. Now you might notice the field is a little bit different for tonight here at North High School. The actual football field is 80 yards long. It's about 40 yards wide. And if you've noticed as well, the field goal posts are still in play, even though they're not actually centered on this 8-man football field. If there is a field goal or extra point attempt, they will actually line the football so it's still directly in the middle of the field goal post. Back to you guys.
Pep, thank you, as we get back to the action here in a 8-0 ball game in favor of the visiting Faith Baptist contenders. But we're going to see what Trevin Adams can do here for the Cubs, as unfortunately they weren't able to punch it in, and here they are playing catch-up a little bit early here in the first quarter.
Playing catch-up? What are you talking about?
Not catch-up, but I'm just saying.
But I'm telling you, when a team scores, I mean, they put up 84, 70, 64, 58, 60, 78. This is going to be fun. I'm telling you, we're down 8. Heck with it. CSDR is going to come back. Hopefully we'll get a score in the 80s.
Well, it might be a basketball score, as there was a toss over to running back Philip Castaneda, and he is stopped in the backfield. Play made by Colin Cashman.
And talking about this team that they're playing tonight, Faith Baptist, I mean, they've had, I think, 16 CIF championships under their resume. They're used to being here. They seem poised and ready to fight the Cubs at every chance they possibly can.
Yeah, CSDR have had a couple of postseason woes here trying to rectify that. 1988, 1994, 97, 2004, 2005, and 2009. They made the playoffs, but they hadn't won a game up until 2019, as Adams throws off of his back foot, incomplete, as the pass rush was coming. But yeah, this is the biggest moment in CSDR athletics history for sure.
Yeah, and you, if you've driven down through Riverside, you drive, CSDR, a beautiful campus. They have a fairly brand new gymnasium. They've redone the campus. Students live on campus as well. It is one of only 2 deaf schools in the state of California.
Yeah, the other one being in Fremont, California, up north. Kind of split in half. Adams tries to tuck it, breaks past one defender. Big play, though. And cutting that one out was A.C. Swadling. And I was talking to one of the assistant coaches for Faith Baptist. He says, this is the best tackler we have on the team, maybe the best tackler I've ever coached. As you're going to see here, big play by Swadling for Faith Baptist, blowing that one up.
That's the way you tackle. Go for the shoestrings, bring him down.
Yeah, sound tackle there, and that's going to lead to 4th and 10 here for CSDR after they go 3 and out. Big crowd on hand for both sidelines, probably bigger on the home side as the punt is off. And taking a friendly CSDR bounce all the way to the 35-yard line. And that's where Faith Baptist is going to take over after they scored their last time having the ball.
Now, Bradford, I am a huge fan of the kicker. I've been talking about it for years. I think the kicker is the most underrated player in all of college, high school, and pro football. And anytime you can get a good punt and you can get good field position, they're the most they don't get any credit. So let's give the credit to the guys that can kick the football.
They get all the blame and none of the credit. And you don't realize how much you miss having a kicker until you really need him. And so we'll see if we see any field goals tonight. So far, though, Faith Baptist have been running it on the ground very successfully. Out to the outside on the near sideline, breaking past another defender in for the score. Faith Baptist get the touchdown. Parker Mills into the end zone.
Holy cow. I mean, he was breakneck speed there and just threw everybody out of the way. What a great run from the Contenders. What a great nickname, by the way. We didn't discuss that.
Hey, they contend a lot.
Apparently
for
so.
CIF championships,
Apparently
Jeff.
so.
It is a good name.
It's a great name. When I start my new high school someday, I'm gonna steal
So
that
that's
nickname.
your plan to
I'm
start
gonna
a new.
steal the nickname of the Contenders. What a great nickname.
Well, our favorite is what was it? The school in Arizona. We've talked about this before.
The Criminals.
The Criminals, yes.
Yeah, the Yuma Criminals.
Yuma Criminals as they go for 2 Faith Baptist. That's not going anywhere. Making the tackle for CSDR, Trevin Adams breaking things up. So stays 14-0 as let's check out what happened there, Jeff, on the 2-point conversion.
There's the run. What an amazing run there.
So look at him just breaking past a couple of defenders and strolling into the end zone. Good job there by Parker Mills.
We talked to the coaching staff before the game, and we asked them, why haven't you guys gone to an 11-man football route? And he said, well, we can't. And you asked him, and he said, well, we would have to cut 20 yards into our parking lot, which would leave him no room to park.
Yeah.
So I said, and I thought to myself, I guess you're going to stay 8-man then. I mean, if you're going to be that dominant, might as well stay in 8-man. You don't want to ruin the parking lot.
Yeah, 35 players on this Faith Baptist roster, and I know covering Inland Empire football, there are plenty of teams who play 11-man with less. So there is a reason as to why Faith Baptist from Canoga Park are not in 11-man football and here in 8-man. But CSDR here going to take the ball over after the touchback, and let's see what they can do here on this drive after going 3 and out last time out.
Yeah, and talking about small teams, I remember being in Riverside when Don Markham, legendary coach, was coaching at Ramona High School, and I believe he only had about 17 or 18 guys on his team, and they all played they played both ways, and he'd beat teams by 70. He used to say, "Hey, coaches would go, why are you beating us so bad? I only have 17 guys."
Not my problem, right? As there's a delayed throw into Enos Zamoza, who gets his first reception of the night, but doesn't go very far as A.C. Swadling, I believe, was back in the action, breaking things up for Faith Baptist.
There's a replay here.
Just a toss, a little bit behind there, though, Jeff, but still 2-yard gain out of that. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Cubs. Tucking it and running himself is Adams. Adams climbing forward just about a yard short of the first down, or did he get it? Oh, he got it. So my vantage point a little bit cut off there, but a good tuck and run here by Adams.
I'll tell you what, we saw this play, the first play of the game, and just like that, they got the same result, a first down.
So first down here for the Cubs as they're trying to get their first points on the night. Here an 8-man football. Adams again. Shoestring tackle made by Parker Mills, who actually scored the touchdown for the Contenders earlier, last drive. But still positive yardage here for the Cubs as they're looking better on this drive than the last one for sure.
Yeah, you know, hey, nerves got to be going. I mean, they're playing in front of a big stadium. You're normally playing on the campus of CSDR. So, yeah, this is kind of a big deal. You know, nerves have to, play a little bit into it.
So it looks like a jump on the line. False start for the Cubs. And you would think that might be an issue for this team very often with CSDR having deaf football players. But people that have watched them play have commented on how disciplined they are and how well they use their eyes. They say, they use their eyes, their full senses, they're paying attention, they're 100% observant, whereas maybe, if you're not deaf, you have other ways of, hearing and things like that you use, and you're not using your eyes the whole time, and that can kind of not go well for you.
Exactly.
As that looks like that ball was incomplete.
Well, I can tell you, Bradford, growing up here in Riverside, I went to Catholic school, Our Lady Perpetual Help, down the road here. And CSDR used to play in the Catholic Little League and the Catholic Little League flag football. So we had an opportunity, as I did as a young man, 7th, 8th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, to play against the CSDR teams in flag football. And they would drill us. I mean, we would get drilled like 85-0. We were playing against grown men, it felt like.
Yeah, I had a friend who played CSDR in middle school, and he said they were just the toughest opponents in his league.
Unbelievable. I actually got scared. Every time we played CSDR, I'm like, oh, man, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'8". I'm large, but I wasn't that big when I was a little kid, but I was still big. But I'll tell you what, I was still damaged every time we played CSDR. I'm like, oh, I don't want to play those guys. And then I was a pitcher, and I remember pitching to him. And this one kid, he probably hit 3 or 4 home runs in one game on me. And I remember him just smiling at me as he ran around the bases. And I was so mad. But, yeah, I hated playing CSDR as a kid.
Well, hated playing against them, but loving watching them, especially this season, as Adams bombs it downfield just out of reach of his receiver. Jory Valencia stretching out there, unable to make the grab. Just a tad bit overthrown, but a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's been open a couple times tonight, and they went for the home run ball, just overthrew it a bit.
And just a tad bit out there as Jory Valencia has been targeted quite frequently in this game so far. Really, Zamoza, Valencia, and Gonzalez part of this attack for the Cubs. Kind of the 3 guys that make it go. Here comes a punt, though, on 4th and long. It's a punt that doesn't go as planned, and it's going to be out at the 49-yard line for Faith Baptist. And now we're going to go back to our guy on the sidelines, Pep Fernandez. Pep, what do you have for us?
As we're here on the sideline, Janine, step on in here. We got Noah Valencia. If you remember the name, he was a basketball star. In fact, he was the MVP of the Inland Sports All-Star Game, also a football player here at CSDR. Noah, what's it like here tonight with this huge crowd and trying to get a Cubs win for a championship?
Oh my goodness, it's inspirational. I mean, really, this is my lifelong dream. It's not only about me, it's for the community. Something that we've all been longing for and wanting to make happen. This is a big time school, it's the girls all been, and so this is for all of us, and this is something we've all been yearning to do. I mean, look at this, it's not just about me, it gives me goosebumps to see everybody here. It's a spiritual journey, and we'll go onward.
So Noah, also, if folks are watching the game at home on Riverside TV, explain how you're able to take cues on the football field, maybe something as simple as snapping the football to start an offensive play. How does that happen?
But really, how do we snap it off? It's the relationship between us, between the players. I mean, yeah, we play together. We tap each other. We play under. We make sure we're visible. Yeah, and then so then when it's under and he's going to be passing it to me, we'll be tapping the leg.
I'll say which side. He'll tell me if it's left or right side. And so, yeah, then we're going to be doing a pass to maybe say a tight end. There's going to put his head down. Quarterback's going to put his head down, or he's going to put his head up, and it's like, hey, I'm going to put it over this way. That's how we know. That's how we work. You know, we have different cues. It's really not complicated. It's actually quite simple.
Well, Noah, nice to see you again.
Hey, likewise. You too. You too.
All right, Noah Valencia, everybody. Thanks, Noah.
I'll tell you what, it's great seeing Noah Valencia. You know, I was talking to you before the game. I told you, and I even said, Noah Valencia is one of the best basketball players I've ever seen in the city of Riverside. He played in our All-Star game, and he was playing against a couple of NBA players that ended up being NBA guys, and he was the MVP of our game. And I'll tell you what, the whole city of Riverside came out to watch him, and it was one of those special moments that my wife and my oldest son, Connor, who's now 15, little guy, they still talk about that game, and they talk about how great Noah was representing the city of Riverside.
Yeah, plenty of good athletes, especially in basketball here in the city of Riverside, and Noah Valencia definitely making his mark on the basketball court. Faith Baptist trying to go long over the top. Caught! Chase Newman in for the score for Faith Baptist, and things going really well for the contenders here.
Boy, they are firing on all cylinders. I mean, they're not contenders at all. They are playing like champions. They're up 20-0 here, you know, in the first period. So, man, they're just taking off. Just doing great here offensively so far.
Taking off and doing an excellent job, but we did mention that it is almost like arena football where the score can change with a drop of a hat, right, Jeff? So CSDR not out of this game at all.
No, in fact, last week they were at Avalon High School over in Catalina. I was getting texts from Ken Mashinsky, who we'll have on at halftime, and the score, they were up by 30 at half, and then it was 40, and then it came close game.
Here's a two-point conversion that is not going to go for the contenders. And continue, Jeff, what you were saying.
Yeah, they honestly were up like 35-40. CSDR was. Avalon came back. It ended up being a one-score game, I believe. But, man, anything can happen in these type of games. Don't look at it as being down 20. This is very early. We could, like I said, we could have a score in the 80s here.
Yeah, we absolutely could. It's still the first quarter. 3 scores in favor of Faith Baptist. And speaking of that Avalon game, Coach Keith Adams for CSDR mentioned it. He said, you know, getting on a boat for a game felt like going to another world, because Avalon is over in Santa Catalina, for those who don't know. So it's like going to another world. I've never been there before. My wife enjoyed the trip to Catalina very much. So, you know, they plan on making it a annual trip after going there and getting a win on Avalon.
Well, when I was coaching here at La Sierra in Norte Vista, I used to take my teams over every season, and that was our big trip away. Some of the kids had never even seen the beach, so I brought them over. They went to Catalina. They felt like they were in Hawaii. It was a fun time. We did the glass bottom boat. We a couple kids did some snorkeling. I know we're talking winter here. But trust me, anytime kids see the beach, they want to jump in. You know
Yes.
that. But what a great place to play. That's a one town, one sport, one school community, and just like CSDR, there's just a great community feeling from Avalon as well.
And you want to talk about having a home field advantage. How about getting on a ferry and having to go to Catalina to play a football game? It just shows the adversity that CSDR is able to get a victory in those tough circumstances, having to get up at 9 a.m. in the morning, then going on the boat at 12. And then,
Get up at 9? Are you kidding me, Bradford?
And no, they had to drive out to Long Beach and then get on it.
Yeah, you still sound like a young man.
Hey, I like to sleep in.
I can't. I've got little rugrats everywhere. You know, we've talked about it all season long. I'm up at the crack of dawn with kids wanting pancakes or snacks. My little guy's always in the pantry. 5 o'clock in the morning, he's over there grabbing candy when mom and dad are asleep.
Young Luke grabbing candy in the pantry at 5 a.m. He's your alarm clock, right?
Yeah, he's an annoying alarm clock.
Okay, so we're back at the action. 1st and 5. And here comes Adams with a big run, getting a 10-yard gain, and he's spun down on the far side. A good run there by Trevin Adams. They're running that direct snap a lot here, Jeff.
Yes, they are, and I tell you, it's working. If you got a workhorse and a stud quarterback like CSDR has, why not?
It's probably part of their arsenal, and I did mention that Adams has 106 carries on the year, over 1,100 yards, and 24 touchdowns on the ground. And they're going to need some of that firepower to match this Faith Baptist Contenders attack here in the first quarter with just 4 minutes remaining. First down coming up here at the 40-yard line for the Cubs. Option kept by Adams. Gets ahead for a solid gain. Now here comes second down coming up.
Another little tidbit about Pete Lanzi is he was the first coach to ever go into the huddle during timeouts. You think about this. Coaches now run out on the field during timeouts. Well, Pete Lanzi had to at the time. Pete was not deaf, but would run out with an interpreter. And so teams started adopting that rule. So Pete Lanzi was the guy that started timeouts, coaches going in the huddle.
Interesting stuff. Pete
I love it.
Definitely an influential guy. You said one of the best coaches in the history of the Inland Empire. So here we are on a screen that is complete. Good play call here. Caught there. Caden Adams going up the sideline. The brother of Trevin Adams making a play. Just a freshman doing a good job on the screen. But there is a flag here. And let's see what the call is here.
I think it's going to be something on the sidelines here. Honestly, I think it was maybe an honest mistake, but let's see here.
The officials convening. Didn't let you guys know who the officials are for this one. Shame on me. I should have done that earlier. Umpires Eric Josephson, the linesman's Ruben Gomez, Ed Roach, the line judge, and the back judge, Tim Atkerson. As it's been about 5 penalties so far in this first quarter. As we're getting a discussion about what's going on here.
Well, apparently the CSDR was a little too close to the action on the sideline, so that they threw a penalty.
Yeah, you can see the younger Adams, Caden Adams, getting pushed out. And that's going to move the ball forward for the Cubs. So beneficial here for CSDR. 2 receivers stacked on the near sideline. Adams gets pressured, and he's trying to fight forward, but a host of white jerseys come around him and swallow him whole on that play.
I'll tell you what, though, it took a lot to get him down. I mean, he is a beast. You watch him here.
Kid.
He takes the first shot and says, "You're not bringing me down. You better bring your friends."
So dragged down there, and it did take about 3 guys to get him down. And here comes second down and long. 13 yards to go until the sticks. Ball at the midpoint of this smaller field, and there's a miscue, unfortunately, and that's going to lead to a scoop for Faith Baptist. Colin Cashman grabs the ball, and just a mishap by CSDR.
Yeah, I think he thought his back was in the backfield, but his back ran the other way here, as we see.
Yeah, he was ready to pitch that ball, Jeff, and unfortunately, ball goes back to Faith Baptist. It's got to be really tough, too. You know, that's another added dimension.
There's a hold. So, but there was 2 offsetting penalties, so it will be Contenders football here.
That's correct, Jeff. The ball will be placed at the 22-yard line, so CSDR in need of a stop here. Down 20-0 in the first quarter against a very good Faith Baptist Contenders team. Finished 9-2 on the season, 2-2 in the Mount Pinos League. Over from the San Fernando Valley. A swing pass is not going anywhere. The posse comes in and blows the play up before it gets started. Good loss of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 11 coming up. Good defense there from CSDR.
Yeah, great play defensively as they jump the gap. And there you go. The edge grabs him. He takes a few guys for him to get brought down.
Yeah, you're seeing that here from both teams. It's got to be kind of gang tackles so far in this one, Jeff.
But it is fun. They're putting the ball in the air almost every time down every play here.
There's 4 guys on the offensive line as it's thrown on a slant, incomplete. Pass was intended. Luke Rasmussen trying to fire that over to his receiver. It's incomplete though. And here comes, where are we at? 3rd down now? 3rd down and 11. So a chance for the Cubs to get a big stop here and force potential field goal. Jeff, this is a lot of fun to be a part of. I know we talked about that early in the pregame, but we're really a part of an event. This is something that will be talked about for a very long time.
Oh, it's phenomenal. You look around, and there was, like you said, there was a bunch of press trucks out here. You see a couple famous broadcasters besides you, Bradford. There's a few guys standing on the sidelines down there, and this is there's a crew down there that's filming for an upcoming documentary, I believe. ESPN is here. It's just a great story. I know people say, well, but for the deaf community, this is a great. It's inspiring for everybody. I mean, anybody who is hearing impaired, you need to look at these young men because they work so hard, and you can see the organization that goes into these games, and just to be able to get to the pinnacle of success is just amazing.
Big 3rd down coming up. Ball snapped, thrown over on a rope. Touchdown, Faith Baptist. And you can add 6 more on the board for the Contenders.
Holy smokes, this is a good game so far for the Contenders as they've just marched down repeatedly on this Cubs defense.
Yeah, Luke Rasmussen really having a good game and did a good job throwing that one over the body, as you saw when he dropped back on 3rd and long.
Oh, he's a big-time football player. You can tell he would dominate a lot at the 11-man division as well.
Yeah, Rasmussen, 6'3" senior, 210 pounds, as the kick is through the uprights. That was our first kick of the game from 8-man football.
Yeah, what a great
or a 2-point conversion, pardon me.
Good pass. Just he has all of the tools, the makeup, the size, the quickness.
So 28-0 the score here so far. Tough first quarter for the Cubs. And it seems like they almost got a stop there on 3rd and long. The defense was playing quite stout. But we've talked about it, too. This is going to be a high-scoring affair. And it is really tough to play defense in 8-man football. It's not the same as playing with 11 men.
No, I mean, if you can develop a running game, heck, you can't run off your tackle and your guard. You got to run off tackle. That's it. Yeah. And your tackle's basically your tight end. It's a different way to look at football, but it's entertaining. And I'll tell you what, you can see the true athletes out here. I mean, they really shine.
As we're going to have another kickoff. And this one dribbles into the back of the end zone. Here at John W. North High School, home of the Huskies.
Boy, how good a year did they have? They should have won it all.
Yeah, they should have. They lost in the semifinals.
Oh, lost to Oaks Christian by 2, and they gave away 10 points in penalties. Basically, is what happened. And Oaks Christian went on to win the CIF championship last night. In fact, believe they shut out their opponents. And wow, yeah, I think John W. North is a little upset and felt like they should have had a CIF championship. I think we all did as well.
Yeah, they went undefeated during the regular season behind that stellar offensive line and running back play. And unfortunately, the Huskies weren't able to get a title, but there was one team that won a title last night, and that was the Arlington Lions in Division 13.
That's right. The Arlington Lions. This is a great story, just like CSDR. You finish 3rd in the River Valley League. You lose your first 6 games of the season. You go 2-8, and you make the playoffs. Hey, and by the way, we go on and win a CIF championship. What a great story. Oh, man. We're going to talk to Coach Mashinsky here at halftime. But, man, what a great story. First-year head coach. He takes over the program, and you win a CIF championship. Where do you go from there? Where do you go?
Yeah.
You're going to play for the World Championships, for gosh sakes.
Well, maybe they'll play for a state title game. Who knows?
They might get an invitation.
They might. regional final, then go to a state final. Those are always interesting to see as plays going absolutely nowhere there for CSDR. Making a big play there in the backfield was Cade Cashman, the junior, for the Contenders. And as we see on a replay, things just didn't go as planned for CSDR on this play.
No, they just look a little out of sorts rhythmically tonight. But, talking about Coach Argamosa, his first year at Arlington, he was an assistant coach at Harupa Hills. He was the assistant coach at Harupa Valley. He gets his own start his first year after Jeff Roney leaves. And I'll tell you what, give the guy a raise. I don't think you can give raises in high school. Maybe give him a $90 million deal like they gave the guy at
Mel
Michigan
Tucker,
State.
right?
Yeah.
They gave him the $1 trillion deal to coach football for eternity at Michigan State, as that play's not going too far for Trevin Adams. And very formidable Faith Baptist defense is hard to run against.
Maybe it's the tryptophan that has slowed down the Cubs here tonight. Yesterday was Turkey Day, and I don't know if you're like me, Bradford. Bradford, I love my turkey.
I love my turkey, too.
I was asleep by about 8:15 last night because I ate so much turkey. And remember, I had like 3 different Thanksgiving dinners this week. So I was at my sister-in-law's, I was at my father-in-law's, I was everywhere, my family. And, they could be a little tired because I woke up this morning and felt a little stuffed, just a bit stuffed.
Were you as stuffed as the turkey was before you guys ate it?
I'm always stuffed, though. I eat a lot. Come
Yeah?
on. Yeah, I stayed away from the mushy stuff this year. I said I'm not going to eat anything mushy. So I just ate meat.
So it's the end of the first quarter here. And Jeff, just give me let's kind of talk about this first quarter, what you've seen so far. Kind of break it down for me. Faith Baptist's been playing really well, and CSDR unfortunately having a few miscues, and it's just been tough for them. So.
Yeah, I mean, Faith Baptist just came out and hit it on all cylinders. They've connected well with the secondary, or I should say attacking CSDR secondary. CSDR just came out, looks a little out of sorts. Like I said, rhythm not there yet. Could be a big game for, this is the biggest game they've ever had. Give them a little time. This is, like I said, this is a high-scoring team. They're putting up 80 points a couple times. Let's watch them and see what can happen here in the second quarter.
Yeah, CSDR really not just playing for the people who have gone here. They're playing for many people who do deal with being hard of hearing or deaf. Trevin Adams talked about this to the Press Enterprise local newspaper. He said, we want to let everybody know that we can play football and play it very well. Okay, we're deaf, but it doesn't really matter when we're on the field. We've shown we're just a really good football team, and even better in many of the hearing teams. As there's a big play going the other way, it's Felix Gonzalez in for the score for CSDR.
I don't know about you, Bradford, but that's the best high school play I've seen all season long. Wow, I love the trick plays. What a great play here as we watch on the replay.
In the blink of an eye, Felix Gonzalez flashing into the end zone for 6 points for the Cubs.
See, that's football. That's great stuff right there. That'll get everybody going. Momentum back in the favor of the Cubs. What a great play.
You can see Gonzalez there. Pumped up about that one. We'll get an extra point attempt or maybe a 2-point conversion. Not many close games for CSDR this year. Been blowing out a lot of teams, and you can see why with some of that firepower they just demonstrated.
I love the trickery. It was awesome.
So here comes the 2-point conversion. Motion and maybe an early jump. Let's see what the call is. False start. So that might move things back a little bit, Jeff. We'll see. The officials just convening, having a powwow in the middle of the field. And a false start on the offense. It's official. That's going to move the Cubs back 5 more yards. And we'll see if they stay with going for 2 or try to kick it.
Yeah, go for it. Let's do another
Why
trick play.
not?
Let's see the Statue of Liberty or flea flicker. I loved it.
Pulling out all the stops here is Keith Adams' team. As Felix Gonzalez scored the touchdown. Monster run. And here we go. Throw complete. Touchdown Cubs. Jory Valencia snagging that one. Pardon me, it was a 2-point conversion. 8 points on the board here for the Cubs. 28-8, as we'll see the replay here. Getting a little tongue twisted, my bad.
Watch this, they get catch and pitch. I love it.
Then a quick pitch. That was exciting, as you could see on this angle, Jeff. Short pass, then lateraled. I think I saw that in a Vikings game in the early 2000s once.
Now, hell,
You got to do it a little bit more.
we saw it here on Riverside TV. What a great play, possibly the best play of the year.
Got to like that. And then the 2-point conversion in for the Cubs. 28-8 now. So, Jeff, what can we see from CSDR here? I mean, you got to see hopefully a few more trickery plays, but things have kind of swung in their momentum a bit.
I love it. Go for an onside kick. Hey, if we're scoring in the 70s and 80s, do whatever you can to generate some points. Let's see what they do here. I mean, you play small field position. Oh,
they're going with the onside kick, and that one's going to dribble out of bounds, unfortunately, for the Cubs.
I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to just drill one of the
get it to deflect.
The contenders, and then just get a bounce off and try to go for it. Smart play. I told you I had done the same thing.
Hey, it's in the CIF championship, right? You got to do whatever you can
Pull
to win
out
the game.
all the stops.
Oh, we saw one of them on that lateral.
So a false start on the kick, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty to start here.
CSDR definitely need a stop here. I mean, it's kind of sounding like Captain Obvious saying that, but down 28-8 here at the start of the second quarter. I want to try to get some momentum on defense after that big play from Felix Gonzalez and the Cubs.
I'll tell you what, you know what they're going to do. They're going to try to throw over the top of you. Let's see if they can make adjustments here.
Yeah, that's been a problem here for CSDR. They've just not been able to handle that aerial attack led by Luke Rasmussen. Looks like maybe sending a blitz here is CSDR, and that's a sack. Big play by the defense. Stepping up there for the Cubs is number 32 or 33, Daniel Flores.
Yeah, they get right in. I like it. I like what they're doing. Go blitz from the outside. Force him inside. You don't want him standing in the pocket being able to throw. I mean, he's got giant targets. They got a target out there. It looks like he's about 8 feet tall.
Yeah, they have one player who's 6'8", Jeff, and that's as tall as you are. And last time I checked, that's kind of tall.
That's very tall, and he's much better looking than I am. We saw him running around in the pregame. Only a sophomore.
He might grow more. Here's a potential trick play for Faith Baptist. Bombing that one down and breaking it up. Good job there by Felix Gonzalez, doing it on the defensive side of the ball now.
Yeah, you just got to get up. That was a jump ball. That's receiver against defender who gets up and gets it. And great way for CSDR to bat that ball down.
Yeah, Chase Newman been targeted all night here for Faith Baptist, as we'll see a replay break this one down and see what you saw there.
Well, you gave it to the running back. The running back said, I'm going to throw the football. That's exactly what happened.
They tried to do the anything you can do, I can do better, but
not as good as that.
Not as good as CSDR.
No, that play was awesome. Catch lateral, catch and pitch. So we got another timeout. You know, I'm going to bring up Pete Lanzi again. He's like I said, a local legend. In fact, the Press Enterprise did a poll of the top, the top 3 coaches in Riverside history, and Pete Lanzi came in 3rd. I mean, these are pretty high praises for Pete Lanzi. Pete Lanzi was a character, to say the least, but he was also, like I said, picked 3rd in the Riverside PE.com. Whatever they call it at the time.
Most influential coaches.
Most influential coaches. Sam Peachy out of Arlington High School, who has since passed, a legendary coach. And I'm trying to find the other guy that was listed with him.
Would it be Dick Bruick?
Dick Bruick is the guy. You're right. So Dick Bruick, Sam Peachy, and Pete Lanzi. So pretty good list of characters if you're going to put him in as the most influential coaches.
Here comes 3rd and 14, thrown short, bouncing off the helmet of a Cub. That hit Trevin Adams, and he's in a bit of dismay that he didn't pick that one off, but still that's a stop here and forcing a 4th down. See the replay here. Thrown, just kind of misthrown there, but broken up by the Cubs. Now 4th and 14 coming up. Back to receive is Felix Gonzalez. And punting this one away is Chase Newman for the Contenders. Punt, that's a booming punt. Shane Leckler would be proud of that one as it's going all the way for, this might be fielded at the 5-yard line. Technically the 15-yard line in an 8-man ball, but
I'm very confused here. That's too much for me to put in my head. I see numbers on the field.
Well,
I see numbers on the sidelines.
He realizes that 10-yard line is the technical end zone here, so he threw it back before it reached that point, and that's going to leave CSDR with some poor field position to start off after a really good punt from Faith Baptist.
Who cares? They got tricks. Let's see them.
We're going to see tricks.
And thank you again for joining us, everybody. It's been a great year on Riverside TV football. I've been blessed to cover all of them this season. We've called over 25 games.
Rush is coming off the back foot. Throwing is Adams, and just seemed like that was too much pressure. Had to get the ball off before there was a potential safety.
Yeah, he was throwing on his heels there.
We've seen that a couple times here from Adams due to this Faith Baptist pressure. Just trying to get that one off, maybe get a screen going. But here comes 2nd and 10. Ball very close to the Cubs end zone. And let's see what happens here. 2 receivers on this near sideline for Adams to look at. Has good protection. Complete to Jory Valencia. And Valencia gives more breathing room to CSDR.
Yeah, a little bit more. I mean, heck, he was in the end zone while he was catches the ball here and on the snap.
But very solid protection as they sent pressure. And a good completion, getting 5 more yards, making it a little bit easier. Here we go, 3rd and 5. And definitely a passing situation. And an 8-man football, really, Jeff, it's pass as much as possible. You don't see a lot of runs unless they're kind of outside runs.
Yeah, unless you have a guy built like, Earl Campbell.
There's a throw and a catch. Turning upfield is Jory Valencia again and gets a 6-yard gain. Moving the chains for CSDR.
And I'm going to ask Coach Mashinsky, how I think it would be more difficult to coach 8-man football. Offensive schemes, there's just so many different elements to, how you're going to run against defenses. I think you have to be a pretty good football mind to be able to coach 8-man football.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be really inventive. You can't just run the ball inside.
No,
there's no inside to run it.
Yeah, you can't run that Ken Batdorf boring offense.
Long throw, hit, but caught. Jory Valencia coming up and making 3 straight big plays for this offense. And Trevin Adams delivering a nice throw off balance, but he gets his man.
Yeah, he looked like he threw it a little off his back foot, a little underthrown, but Valencia right there to see it.
Yeah, so Jory. So ball was at the 5-yard line of CSDR, and now it's all the way into Faith Baptist territory. Quick throw over to Valencia. He's been the man on this drive. Look at him shift forward and move ahead for a gain of 11 yards. Flag on the play here, though. Let's see what the call is. And it looks like it was afterward.
Extra 15. That's going to be unsportsmanlike here. It's either a face mask or, like I said, I think it looked like a punch after the play.
We've seen a couple of unsportsmanlike and late penalties thrown so far in this ball game.
Let's see what the white hat calls.
Personal foul going against Faith Baptist for the extracurricular activities.
And we can see right after the play. I thought maybe it was a horse collar, as you can see right there. But he let go, but I think it's the after the play. There it is. There's the play. That was a little bit of extra friendliness or unfriendliness there after the play.
Yeah, very amicable move there.
Yeah, gave him a rib
Faith
shot.
Baptist.
Come on.
Good sportsmanship there.
Wow. Yeah, that was a tough one. That was pretty easy to call.
So 28-8 here, the score. Faith Baptist had a torrid start in this game in the first quarter, and the bag of tricks from Keith Adams led to the first points for CSDR. Let's see if they can get some more, though. And throwing off his back foot again is Adams, as he is hit in the backfield. But fortuitously got that one off as Luke Rasmussen was coming down the pipeline.
Smart move to get rid of it. You'd have gone from second to 10 to second to about 25.
Yeah, he was back there, especially that one getting.
But I am noticing, though, you don't have to get outside the hash marks. You can kind of just release it, which I think is probably beneficial. That's a good rule. I mean, you're
it's
not
tougher to protect, right?
I don't think there's too many intentional grounding calls called in 8-man football.
Second down, ball at the 20-yard line. Just 10 yards to go. Low snap this time. Adams finding his man, touchdown. Again, the man on this drive, Jory Valencia. 5 receptions on this drive, and Valencia getting more points for the Cubs.
I'll tell you what, look at the fans out there. Look, it's packed,
Looks
Bradford.
like a college game here.
Man, this is fantastic. And like I said, you got a little nervous being down 28-0, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, you're right back in this ball game.
You might be a fortune teller, Jeff, because you said, hey, wait until they get in the swing of this one, and they're going to get back into this game, and that's exactly what's happened.
I even called Arlington as CIF champs the day the brackets came out. I predicted it here on Riverside TV.
No love for Indian Springs? Oh, wait, no, they're Division 14, pardon me.
And they're not part of Riverside. I love Indian Springs.
They're not, but I am an IMG TV guy.
That's right.
I'm making my Riverside TV debut here in a good one, and there's a throw that is caught, that time to Felix Gonzalez. So Felix Gonzalez, if you remember, ran that ball off the trick play, the lateral, and then gets the 2 points. So now we're going to toss it down to our guy, Pep Fernandez. What do you have, Pep?
Hey guys, hey Jeff, hey Bradford, down here on the sideline. We are here with the Booster Club president for the CSDR Cubs, Gloria Moriarty. And Gloria, 2 touchdowns now. It's now an exciting game. How excited are you right now?
I am very excited. It's had such a huge impact on the deaf community. It's amazing how viral it's went. I just can't believe it. Yeah, it's so exciting.
And Gloria, when you look behind us, tremendous fan support here at the stadium tonight. It looks sold out. What does it say about the community rallying behind CSDR in this championship game?
Absolutely. Look how red it is. It's all you can see.
And I love the hat. Yes, I love the hat. Cubs, right?
Cubs, that's it.
Go Cubs. Well, it's 28-14, guys. Gloria's fired up. We got ourselves a ball game. Jeff and Bradford, back up to you.
Thanks, Pep. And a really good stuff. Just shows the support that CSDR has in the community with the Booster Club, as this is a attempted short kick that goes out of bounds. And that's the second time that's happened here for the Cubs, and it's going to lead to good field position for Faith Baptist. But last time, that didn't really matter, Jeff.
It doesn't. I'm telling you. We're going to have a basketball score here. We're going to be triple digits, both teams. Hey, I want that hat she had on. I needed the little fuzzy things for my head. It was cool.
It's getting a little cool now that you have your jacket off. You got to warm yourself up with that hat.
I have no hair at all, but it would look really cool on me. She's the Booster Club president. Send me one of those. I'll wear it.
Be good to wear that during the broadcast. We should have done that during our stand-up, Jeff.
You're darn right. I'm all for the Cubs.
Well, you can see there the 2-point conversion for Felix Gonzalez. And here come Faith Baptist again on a keeper. It's Luke Rasmussen. Luke Rasmussen, there's another flag. Rasmussen's having a solid game, but we'll see what the call is here. Looks like DJ McDaniel's a little bit upset there for Faith Baptist, and McDaniel getting booed off the field by the home side, taking his helmet off as well. So we'll see. It's a personal foul going against DJ McDaniel.
Let's see here at the end of the play. See if it was warranted here.
Ooh, late push there. And, yeah, just a tough push on Trevin Adams. Trevin Adams falls to the ground, and that's going to be a personal foul. We've seen personal fouls here so far tonight, Jeff. That was not the first one.
Yeah, there's no love lost here, apparently. They've gotten over the friendships of starting this game. Now it's just, hey, we're going to do whatever we can, trying to, it's a little gamesmanship. You play a little tougher, but you got to be smart, especially in championship games.
From under the center, they toss it to the right. The Contenders, a big gain again, running and chugging forward. One man to beat. And pushed out, finally a touchdown, saving tackle at that. But Parker Mills gets a big gain again for the Contenders.
Parker Mills, man, he looks untouchable. He's a grown man out there.
You don't see anything from under center often, Jeff, in 8-man football, but there we are, and it worked well as the toss was to the outside. Making a play there, though, was Jory Valencia before that got worse.
Yeah, that was just a great run there.
8:37 to go in this first half. 28-16 is the score here at JW North High School. Another run, and that run's going absolutely nowhere. Trevin Adams coming in and making the tackle for loss, his 5th tackle for loss this season.
That's a great play, great scout. You can tell they've been watching a lot of football on the Contenders here. CSDR knew exactly what was coming.
And good job by the interior defensive lineman as well for CSDR, and a negative play for the Contenders. Handoff, nope, faked. And this is going to be Trevin Adams coming in and knocking him down. That was Luke Rasmussen. Luke Rasmussen's been tough to grab, and Trevin Adams just said, you know what, I'm knocking you down for another tackle for loss.
And watching CSDR, they don't make many mistakes. A lot of high school teams should watch this film because CSDR doesn't make the mistakes that we see a lot of high school teams do. Not a lot of offside, not a lot of penalties that involve a team situation. You don't see anybody getting any personal fouls so far. They are playing smart football, and that's what a lot of teams we've seen all season long, they just don't do it. Very disciplined.
Crowd stomping their feet and cheering here on this 3rd down and 15 yards to go. Can the Cubs get a stop? We'll see. Rolling out to the outside, single coverage, incomplete. The defense holds yet again for CSDR, Jeff.
Yeah, great defense again. Like I said, you're not seeing a lot of hands on the receiver. They're relying just on fundamental football here.
So that was thrown outside and incomplete. Good coverage there, and a good job by Valencia holding up in single coverage.
Have you ever felt the rumbling of a stadium like this, though? We've been in a lot of high school football games. You hear a lot of loud cheering. You hear both here tonight. You look at the fans. I'm telling you, it feels like an earthquake.
Unbelievable, yeah. You can feel it. At least a magnitude 5.0 earthquake beneath us here in the press box at JW North. 4th down, though. Throw over the top, and that's not going to happen for the Contenders. Good defense again as the secondary holds up for the Cubs.
So just like that, thought maybe there might have been an interception. There could have been, but it
was a smart play not to, right?
Very smart. They seem to have adjusted well here in the 2nd quarter.
They absolutely have. A 12-0 Cubs down 28-16 to Faith Baptist, but momentum has swung in favor of CSDR, and things are going really well. Back-to-back drives where they scored, and it all started with that trick play and Felix Gonzalez scoring for the Cubs.
Heck, this game is fun. We're already an hour into this ball game. We're not even at halftime yet.
That's what happens when teams throw a lot.
Hey, we're going to be here till 10 o'clock. Forget your
TV dinner that I had ready.
Your TV viewing tonight. I hope you TiVoed it.
I was going to watch Gilligan's Island, but there goes that. Pressure. Adams squirming around, and he's brought down. Parker Mills making the tackle, but maybe a play where he should have just thrown it away.
Yeah, just get rid of it. But he lost 4 yards, 3.5 yards. That's not a big deal.
Especially with the way the big plays are happening for the Cubs. But you can see just running for his life there, and finally met his end is Trevin Adams.
No! Penalty.
Another penalty, Jeff.
On the contenders. See, the contenders have let the best get to them, and that's been really a big difference. It's changed the momentum of this ball game.
So CSDR, if you're just joining us, trying to win their first CIF title in CSDR athletics history in the 68 years that they've been a school. And it would be a remarkable story. Make national world headlines at that. CSDR actually first fielded their team in 1956. It's the first CSDR team, or first CSDR team they've ever had, and here they are in 2021 trying to get a championship.
That's pretty sweet. I mean, all of these players, everybody, the support staff, the administration, hey, they're always going to be able to say, hey, I was a part of something first. Win or lose, it's still, an amazing story. And like I said, this team is young. They could repeat as well. I mean, they have a lot going on in the future of CSDR.
Yeah, their most successful season so far, making the switch from 11-man football to 8-man football in 2019. And it's a seamless transition for Keith Adams' team. As you can see, they didn't play last year, actually, Jeff, so this is their second year playing in 8-man football, and they're already in the championship. Looks like there's Keith Adams getting a talking to from the head referee, and the interpreter coming out as well, just clearing up any confusion. And we're going to get back into the swing of things here. Second down coming up. Just 4 yards for the Sticks. Two receivers on this near sideline. The house comes, a screen, a perfectly called play, and into Jory Valencia, the star man so far, getting out to the edge, and almost in to the end zone, but tripped up. And there was a fumble, but we'll see if the player was down.
Yeah, I think he was out of bounds, actually, when he fumbled the ball. Hopefully Valencia's okay. He's down.
And Valencia, that's going to be a immense loss if Jory Valencia can't go for the rest of the game. Jory Valencia, 35 receptions coming into this one as we see the replay.
He stepped out of bounds, it looked like. Well,
who stepped out of bounds, and hopefully he's okay. Valencia down on the field receiving some care from trainers, and not a good sight. Valencia, 676 yards, receiving 16 touchdowns, and such a massive player, not only offensively, Jeff, but also defensively. 14 interceptions so far this season.
Oh, that looks like he's okay. Hopefully he's
sort of hobbling off there, but on his own power, thankfully, and big applause by the crowd. And, I was talking about this a little bit earlier, though, Jeff. This isn't just a win for CSDR if they were to win this game. It just demonstrates that no matter what disability you have, you can overcome and compete with a quote-unquote normal school, right?
Yeah, and that's the wonderful thing is these student athletes are normal. They just can't hear, and you know what? A lot of us can't do a lot of things. There's so many different things that we go through as people, and this is just one of those things that a team comes together, they learn together, they play together. It's just a wonderful story.
Adams is hit, trying to signal to one of his wide receivers to get open, but making a play there is Luke Rasmussen for the sack, and that's going to move this attack back more.
But, hey, I mean, it was just first down. There's big plays after big plays. I don't mind him taking it, getting the sack there. All right, so you're 2nd and 20+, but you still have an opportunity. Hopefully, like I said, the wide receiver will come back here, Valencia. But, yeah, the quarterback has been on his heels here for the last couple series here. But, yeah, I was just going to tell you, watching the timeouts here, and I'm watching the coaches communicate with the players. It's just an amazing feat that these players are all in sync. You have to be in sync. If you don't pay attention, you're not going to get what's going on, and it all falls apart. So you go from 1 to 8, and you're going to get great team effort because they all do follow the chain of command 1 through 8 on the field.
Yeah, it takes absolutely perfect execution.
Yeah,
and being on the same page.
If one person's off, it screws up everything.
Yeah.
It's the epitome of teamwork.
And these athletes definitely demonstrating that, getting all the way to the championship game against a perennial favorite in Faith Baptist. 5:47 to go here, though, in this first quarter, as there's a flag, or first half flag, and we're going to actually see what our guy Pep Fernandez is up to. Pep, let's hear from you.
Guys, last time we spoke, hey, we've got ourselves a ball game now, and the Cubs are driving, trying to get another touchdown. We've got the cheerleading captain, Esther Cho, joined us here on the broadcast. And Esther, keeping the fans fired up, trying to get a Cubs comeback here. And there's a lot of people here tonight. What's it like trying to get the fans fired up and get the crowd support for CSDR?
Well, really, I'm not alone. It's all of us. We got our chance. We got our school spirit. I've got the best team ever. Look at this. Look at this. They are just on fire. There's just so much attention. They're so engaged in all of this.
Well, Esther, I think we just had a touchdown. There may be a flag on the play, so we'll have to see. I can't see from here. But the crowd just erupted. You guys are so close to that championship. What's it been like cheering for this team all season long?
All right, hey, when we first started in this season, we were like, hey, we're going to just come help support, join in on this. And then the audience, man, they just had so much spirit. They have so much energy. We know that we can do it. We believe in them.
And Esther actually taught me a word tonight. Cubs. So go Cubs tonight. Yeah. Back up to you guys.
That's the sign, yeah.
Good stuff, Pep. And Jeff, just give me your thoughts on that touchdown that we saw.
Oh, they're back in it, baby. I tell you what, they're down. Now they're only down 6. I told you, don't ever sleep on this game. CSDR's putting up mammoth numbers tonight, or this season. And why not tonight? We have ourselves a great ball game. Once down 28-0, now within 6.
Yeah,
and an opportunity to get within 2 more.
Yeah, and it also looks like a player is down. But, yeah, it's just a close game here. Jeff, Felix Gonzalez stepping up and making the grab for the touchdown as Jory Valencia got hurt earlier. And another Cub down receiving some attention as we just have 5.5 minutes to go before halftime. And this has been a game of 2 quarters per se, because CSDR was having some trouble in the first quarter, maybe a little bit of nerves, as you can see that immense crowd in front of us. And on the flip side of things, in this second quarter, they've come back roaring.
Oh, they have. And you talk about the crowd. I mean, they've never played in front of a crowd this big. I've never played in front of a crowd this big. I'd be nervous, too, in that first quarter. But they seem to have pulled it together, and I'm going to be a big Esther Cho fan for the rest of my life, is that she was leading, the cheer captain here. Man, she taught Pep a little word here about Cubs, so now I'm going to walk around do the Cubs sign. But what a great story here as CSDR making a run here.
Yeah, making a run here, and they're going to go for 2 on top of it. The man who went out was Caden Adams. Tucking it and running it is his brother Trevin Adams, but he's met in the hole and stopped short. I'll tell you, we've seen some big hits so far in this game, though. A lot of it's not just because it's 8-man football doesn't mean it isn't hardcore.
I think it's more brutal. I mean, you have more space to run around. Open space can cause problems, can cause injuries, and it can cause big hits, Bradford, and we've seen some giant ones tonight.
We have, and with that being said, we hope whoever has gone out so far due to injury can come back into this game. 2 players hurt so far, Jory Valencia and Caden Adams. Jory Valencia earlier in the game was hobbled, and if you'll recall on the second touchdown on that whole drive, he was just dynamite, getting every catch. He had 5 or 6 catches on that drive, and then finally scored the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now on the sidelines. He seems to be walking okay, a little gingerly, but hopefully we can see him back. Just put more tape on him. We got to see more Valencia.
Yeah, please, Jory Valencia, come back into this game. And not just for our sake, but really for the team's sake, because he's probably their best wide receiver, and they're going to need him to pull off the victory.
Oh, I feel he's going to do it.
There's a day to come back, right? Short kick again, and the ball is going to be fielded at the 49-yard line, and that is where Faith Baptist is going to take over. And Faith Baptist have really struggled here in this second quarter, and that's in large part due to the fact that how well CSDR's defense is playing.
Yeah, they've really adjusted well to that, the passing game that really hurt CSDR in that first quarter. But they've just, they seem to, calm the nerves, and football is back in and normal for them. Like I said, it's got to be tough playing in front of this many people.
Yeah, not easy at any time. And you mentioned you're a guy who's played basketball in many places, including colleges. There's a big run for 10 yards by Parker Mills. But you said this is a packed house, and we are at max capacity on the home side.
Yeah, and it's fun. This is what you're talking about. This is, you feel the energy of the crowd, the people here. You feel the energy from the players. This is a big-time ball game. And it's great to call a CIF championship here on Riverside TV.
Yeah, we're getting that, too. There's another run by Mills to the outside, and he is met after a 5-yard gain. Trevin Adams making another play. And Adams so far in this quarter, yes, he's shown you what he can do with his legs and arm on offense, but he is just flying around on defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting to him quick, that's for sure. They definitely made some adjustments here.
Another big play by Adams, playing in that linebacker position. There was a 3-yard gain for that, so it's now actually 4 yards. They're going to call it officially. 2nd and 6 coming up. 2 receivers on the near side. Thrown, complete, and almost getting the tackle, but breaking it is A.C. Swadling. And maybe another player down on the ground here. And he's getting up there. That's Caden Adams, who came back into the game after being down a few minutes ago. Let's check out what happened here on this play, though.
Yeah, just the missed tackle here really created the space there, but the hustle, like you said, from number 5.
Yeah, 5, Caden Adams. And A.C. Swadling squirming into the 1-yard line, and that's going to be an easy touchdown here for Faith Baptist. So they answer back after not being able to score the last 3 drives. Faith Baptist come right back on a short field and score more. 34 points now, and 34-22 the score right now with just under 5 minutes to go. A good drive there from Faith Baptist.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many games on Riverside TV where we're still in the second quarter, and it's 34-22.
You mean Norta Vista's not going to be throwing the ball around?
No.
All over the place?
Ken Batdorf refuses to throw.
Hey, I saw him throw. I covered one game this year with him, as that is a 2-point conversion that was in for Faith Baptist.
Yeah, for those of you that are paying attention, Ken Batdorf and I, we have a long history together. He's been around at Norta Vista for 28 years. 28 years! And I work with him over at Norta Vista. But, he's been my punching bag all season long on Riverside TV. And I know Ken is here tonight. Said he was coming out to watch the game. So it's always good to see. A lot of high school coaches have come out Coach Dennis Brown is here from John W. North. You got Ken Mashinsky. You got Ken Batdorf, who's probably eating nachos in a corner somewhere, hanging out by himself. He's a loner.
I'll tell you what, I have been the punching bag at Inland Sports before, Jeff, and I'm glad that it's Ken Batdorf right now.
Yeah, but you were in your early.
As much as I love you, Jeff, I'm kind of happy that I'm not.
You were like in your teens when I would get on you. We have another broadcaster, Nick Rice, here on Riverside TV, and I've been pretty hard on him all season long. But a wonderful young man, and it's great to work with you, Bradford, here on Riverside TV.
I've been dying to get a game to cover it with you, Jeff. It's been a lot of fun so far here, and we're not anywhere close to being done in a really good game. 36-22 the score right now, 4:43 remaining. Faith Baptist just scored on the 1-yard line off of a run, and here come the Cubs trying to get a couple points back here.
Oh, hopefully we can see if Valencia is back on the field. He is not yet.
Yeah, Valencia's still on the sideline, and hopefully he can get back into this game. If not, it's going to be Felix.
Oh, no, he's in.
No, he's in? Jeff, you fooled me.
He's in.
Yeah, he's over on that far sideline battling through injury. So
Valencia Watch 2021, he's in.
He already has 1 million catches so far, so look out for him as there's another rush, a screen executed to perfection. Felix Gonzalez out in the open field and is tripped up after a 15-yard gain. Good stuff from Gonzalez and good stuff on the execution from Trevin Adams.
You know, I like what CSDR is doing. They know the blitz is coming, and they run that little slip screen right there underneath, and he's wide open every time on that three-man blitz.
Yeah, good stuff there, and a good job from Felix Gonzalez, listed as an athlete. And anytime you see a guy that's listed as an athlete on the depth chart, look out. Look out.
Athlete.
It says ATH.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, look out. Run going for no gain. Parker Mills making the tackle again.
Yeah, that's a whole different category. You put like center, you put guard, you put wide receiver, athlete. That's the best.
That's the guy you circle out and you look out on film.
That's who you go, okay, we're going to guard that guy because it's just athlete. It's the best. That's the best. What position do you play? I'm an athlete.
You aren't an athlete unless you have that as your title.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Low snap. Thrown. Oh, grabbed and intercepted. This one could go to the house. Let's see. Shifting forward in for the score. Just off of a miscommunication, but Chase Newman taking that one in for 6 more for Faith Baptist.
Hello, Newman. But yeah, just a very good grab for the interception there.
So
let's check out those matchups. Let's see how the scoring's gone for both teams this season.
Well, you're going to see it's a lot for both of these teams,
I love
right?
it. Yeah, after we get the score here, let's pull it up and let's see some of the scores at CSDR.
So a pick 6 thrown by Trevin Adams, and that one thrown down and away. Good coverage by CSDR, and incomplete. We'll see a replay of this.
Yeah, just a little overthrown here on the bad snap.
Overthrown, then deflected, and if it wasn't deflected, I don't think it would have gone into the hands of Chase Newman. And you're right. Hello, Newman.
Hello.
In for the pick 6, and let's take a look at some of the matchups here, Jeff. Break those down.
Yeah,
man.
Look at that. I mean, CSDR, you look down second from the bottom, 84. He had 62 last week, 70. And then look in the other column. They're all in the 60s and 50s. Unbelievable scores. This is look at the first 2 games. Noli Indians 68-0, 46-0. I'm telling you, don't worry about the score now. They're only down. They're not down. This is like down a free throw. This is like down down a free throw or a field goal. CSDR is still in this ball game.
It's the way of 8-man football.
I love it.
Down a free throw, as Jeff Gorham says. 42-22. As ball goes into the end zone here, and that's going to go for a touchback for the Cubs.
Yeah, look at the press or the sidelines though. There are more press people. There's more press people here than the inauguration. There's a lot of people here.
And it doesn't matter which president, too.
No, it doesn't matter. This is big time.
Could be George Washington's inauguration.
Yeah,
and it couldn't match.
You're not going to get the press corps. Look at those guys. Look at everybody with a camera. There's like $10 million worth of equipment on the sidelines right now at John W. North High School.
Gotta love it. As the ball is placed at the 25-yard line for the Cubs to try to respond after that pick six. Pressure coming. Adams is going to run. Going to take off gets past one defender and maybe 6 yards on that play.
That was a great run. He was throwing guys off him.
See the replay.
Shoo, get off me. Watch this.
Yeah, Colin Cashman giving chase, breaking past another defender, stopping past that one, and then out for a positive gain. And sometimes you just got to do that as a quarterback, right? Just take off when nothing's open.
It just gave him a good shove. The guy dove, tried to get out of my way. Shoved him out. I loved it.
3:23 to go in this second quarter. Cutting back the opposite way of his blocks is Adams, and that's enough for a first down thanks to the legs of Trevin Adams.
Trevin Adams is going to be tired tomorrow.
I would think so, but if you look at his stats, he's been doing this all season long.
He's going to wake up tomorrow morning, it's Sunday morning, and he's not going to be able to move.
I think that happens when you reach a certain age.
That happens to me now.
Yeah.
I still have to get up early, like I said, but yeah. He's 18. I'm 51 or whatever. He's probably 16 or whatever. He's a young kid.
Yeah, he's only a junior, Jeff, so room to grow.
He'll be fine tomorrow, but he'll be sore.
Adams gets the snap, back to pass, has good protection. One defender goes past him, and arm tackle breaks past that one and throwing it and completing it. Fantastic job there. Enos Somoza making a play there. Fantastic stuff. Looking like Fran Tarkenton back there.
Dude, that was awesome. You're not kidding around. That is straight Brett Favre, Fran Tarkenton, you name it. The guys are hanging on him.
So Colin Cashman with an arm tackle, can't get him down. Then coming up is Luke Rasmussen, and he's able to get it complete.
I'll tell you what, if I'm ever in a dark alley, I want him as my my wingman. That's a tough kid.
You don't want to mess with him. You've seen the way he hits, too.
Yeah, I'm dainty. I'm like a flower. I'm not fighting anybody. He's one guy I want to go to fight with.
Jeff's a lover, not a fighter.
No, I'm pacifist.
Okay. I tried to put you in a positive light there, man. Tried to set you up. Throw in the dirt as the pressure was coming. So Jeff the pacifist.
Yeah, I'm a pacifist. In my older age, in my younger age, I was crazy. Now I'm a pacifist. I turn the other cheek.
In the days of Jeff being a Ramona Ram, you didn't want to be near him.
Yeah, hey, I'll tell you what, we got Ramona Ram coming in at halftime. We're going to talk to Ken Mashinsky, the head coach of my Ramona Ram and everybody's Ramona Rams, because he had a great season, but he had a chance to watch CSDR last week in Avalon. He took the boat. I heard he took a dinghy over there just by himself. Small engine dinghy.
Oh, boy. Bad snap, and it's thrown and complete just beneath the line of scrimmage, and another flag, Jeff.
There's another
flag.
So that's going to be a first down as the contenders continuing to have a little extracurricular activity on after plays.
They've been doing that all night so far, Jeff, and it's not been to their benefit. Going against them again. That is the fourth personal foul on Faith Baptist so far.
Yeah, that's something you can't do in big games. We talked about it with John W. North this season. We talked about it with Norte Vista. You have to play within your means. You got to play smart football. It will cost you. And it could cost you in this game. They're up big. But it's like I said, it's like arena football. This is 8-man football. We're going to put up 80. You better be prepared.
So 15 yards in favor of CSDR. And the ball's going to be spotted at the 31-yard line. So the bad snap, and you see a throw. It's caught. And then as soon as Felix Gonzalez is tripped up, you're going to see the flag on a late hit. 2:22 to go in the second quarter here on Riverside TV. Blitz coming, throwing, and no catch. Pass was intended for Enos Zamoza, but the officials say that it was incomplete.
He just goes in untouched. We've seen that a few times tonight. They've been able to slip the receiver underneath.
Yeah, Cade Cashman just came in unblocked for Faith Baptist. And let's see what happens on 2nd and 10. More pressure coming off the edge. Pumping and almost intercepted by Parker Mills. Parker Mills has been doing everything for Faith Baptist tonight. He's been flying around, getting in the pass rush, doing a good job offensively as well, making a good play there. But just a lot of pressure for CSDR to deal with on that play.
Boy, these guys are big boy athletes playing in a big boy game here for a CIF championship.
Yeah, a CIF championship on the line here in Division II of 8-man football here in the CIF Southern section. Big third down coming up. 10 yards to the first down marker. Throwing and catching. It's going to be a little bit short. Felix Gonzalez, but at this point, you're this close. Probably going to go for it, wouldn't you think?
You're darn right you're going to go for it. Every time you're close, you go for it.
More coaches could use that advice. I hate when people take the easy way out and only kick it.
Yeah, I love kickers, but you got to have a kicker. If you don't have a kicker, you got to go for it every time.
Well, they do have a kicker. It's Richard Rios, who's their guy. He's also an offensive and defensive lineman, though, so you're kind of picking your poison there. You have him off the line when he goes to kick, and that's one less guy to block.
Look at the fan base here tonight. I mean, this is amazing for CSDR to bring in such a great crowd. I mean, this is something we've seen. Pep and I, like I said, had an all-star basketball game, and we had several CSDR players, Noah Valencia, the most prominent, to come out, and just everybody comes out to support these young men, and I think it's something that the community shows. This is why Riverside is such a great city. I love Riverside for this kind of situation. You have fans, not just CSDR fans, but fans of the city and know this great story, come out and to support these young men is just something amazing.
Yeah, it's remarkable. A big city, but a strong community, and those two things don't often go hand in hand.
No.
And it's definitely here in Riverside.
Yeah, all creeds, colors, religious backgrounds, political views, it all comes together here at football here in the city of Riverside.
So here's a crucial 4th and 4. Adams has time. Throws off his back foot again, in and caught! Felix Gonzalez! Let's see what the officials say.
Oh, that's not a catch.
They're going to wave it off. It's hard to see that line on that far edge, though, Jeff, and it did look like he grabbed it. We'll see on a replay soon enough.
We'll see if they made the right call.
So Adams throwing. And, ooh, man, I don't know. What do you think about that one?
I think that was a touchdown. I'm not too sure on that one. But even the guys on Faith Baptist sidelines put up the hands for a touchdown.
So it looks as if that is not going to be called a touchdown. Maybe just on the edge, had a toe on the line, 2 toes on the line. It was hard to see. But Faith Baptist going to take back over after CSDR go empty on that 4th and 4 in the red zone. So another run by Parker Mills. And Parker Mills been the standout player for Faith Baptist so far. Been making his mark offensively and defensively, as we touched on. 1:31 though to go in this ball game. That's a lifetime in an 8-man football game though. So maybe you could see another possession for CSDR. Fake toss, a fumble as well. Who has it? Let's see who's coming down with this one. Signaling for Faith Baptist. No. Let's see. Don't want to jump the gun here. So many mixed signals coming, and we'll see what the head official says. And it's going to be a timeout, Jeff.
That's Faith Baptist. I believe their last timeout here of the half. CSDR's used all of theirs.
As you see, that ball spilled out, and it looked like there was a dog pile. Can't see where the pigskin is, though. Another replay of it. Just dropping it there was Rasmussen. And the officials, I think, have determined that it goes to Faith Baptist. So here we go on second down and 14 yards. Ball pushed to the outside. Mills out to the open field. Mills past one defender and then another, and he is out at the 26-yard line.
He's had himself a pretty productive game, I'd say.
Yeah, every time he gets out to the outside, he's been tough to deal with.
Yeah, he's a grown man.
Look at him pushing down one defender, then finally getting forced out of bounds by Philip Castaneda. First down in real good field position for Faith Baptist. Tackle made by Adams.
Clock continuing to run here.
But we're really close to the end zone here, Jeff. It's if there was ever a time to hold the line, this would be it for CSDR.
And no timeouts either for either team.
Rasmussen, easy pitch and catch. And it's caught for the touchdown. Tracy Bryden in for the score. The 6'8" guy, 250 pounds, making his mark on this game.
Only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore, and he is without a doubt the biggest guy on the field.
I'm really worried about him when he's doing that jump, though, after they score. He's going to just jump and run into his own guy and just knock him down. But what a good catch.
Other guy could be knocked out for the game, right?
Yeah, be careful. Don't jump into that guy. He's huge.
So another touchdown for Faith Baptist. Run up the middle, and Mills scores the 2-point conversion. That's going to put 50 on the board here. So the only time that CSDR have surrendered more than 50 points was last game against Avalon. 62-51 was the score in that one, as you can see the replay there. To the big guy, 6'8", Bryden.
Yeah, we're not even at halftime yet, though.
We're not.
Dude, we could get triple digits. It'll be 112 to 109.
It's going to look like a Paul Westphal basketball game.
Yeah, the run and gun. The old Lakers showtime. We get a look at the Cub there. That's a bright Cub. I like mascots, and that's a good one.
I saw a pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I like him too. I'm a big fan of that mascot. So last week when I was covering the Rialto Knights game, they had a dragon out.
What?
A full dragon.
How did they bring in a dragon?
The Rialto Knights, they did not have a knight to slay the dragon, but they had a dragon roaming the sidelines.
Was it like it had wings and everything? It was
Didn't
cool.
have wings, but he was in a dragon suit.
He was in a dragon suit.
But I just don't understand that. That's the arch enemy of a knight.
Yeah, you don't want to be a.
The knights are hired to slay the dragons.
The knight was in the tummy of the dragon, the big old dragon.
I think that's what happened.
What do you call a wingless dragon?
What?
I don't know.
A lizard?
Yeah, just a lizard.
Just a lizard.
Godzilla. Yeah, it was a dragon. It was a wingless dragon.
50-22 the score in this one, Jeff. 44 ticks to go, and CSDR trying to get on the board. After the first portion of the second quarter, things were going really well. And a turnover led to a pick six for CSDR, and that added to the score for Faith Baptist. But 50 points to 22. You mentioned this could be a triple-digit game, no doubt about it.
I love it. At halftime, we have Pep's going to talk to the mayor. The mayor is in town, and then we get to talk to the godfather of Ramona High School, Ken Mashinsky.
He's over to our right, shaking his head right now.
I was trying to think of something like a tough guy word for Mashinsky, like Mashinsky.
The mastermind?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's too nice to be like a mean guy or anything, but I try to make him sound mean and tough.
Well, Ramona had a good season.
Great season, the best on record.
All the Riverside schools really had a tremendous year. Most of the Riverside schools, I should say, had a solid season.
I bet I'm going to ask him too. I bet he's so happy that Arlington won a CIF championship. You know that there are bitter enemies at Ramona High School, but being that I'm so far removed from high school, like 30 plus years, I feel pretty good for Argamosa and his Lion crew winning a CIF championship.
Back to this game, Trevin Adams throwing it, caught by his running back, Philip Castaneda, and he is met at the 44-yard line.
He was suplexed.
Yeah, he was. Sometimes that happens. Little guy going up against some of these big dudes they have on the defensive side of the ball. And tough running, though. Credit to him. As Castaneda, looked like there was a mishap. I don't know. Jeff, did you see what happened there?
I'm
a bit bewildered.
I don't know what that was exactly. I think maybe to stop the clock.
Here's a snap. Scrambling out of the pocket. There is a flag thrown, but Adams trying to do it all himself, barreling down and finally met at the 40-yard line of the Contenders.
To another foul, a face mask.
So face mask, another personal foul.
That's going to add up to that great run.
Yeah, good stuff there. And look at him just not even afraid to meet Chase Newman. Ball at the 40-yard line, and now we're feeling the earthquake again.
This is a 7.0.
The seismic shift.
7.0, friends.
This is the Ridgecrest earthquake.
Look at this one. I'm going to lose sleep tonight. I'm going to be laying in my bed. I'm going to have nightmares of the bleachers at the dog pound at John W. North High School. Now, so 1 second left. Good call.
Yeah, 1 second, one chance to get something out of the end of the second quarter.
But you better hurry up. There's no timeouts here. But you can't end a quarter or halftime or a quarter on a penalty. So it's okay. If you run out, you just get moved back 5 yards.
So here we go. Chance to get into the end zone for CSDR. Crowd on their feet. Adams has the ball, pressure, and he's sacked. He's sacked. Get a big play there was Cade Cashman tripping him up on the defensive edge. And that's how this half ends here from JW North High School. 50-22. Contenders lead the Cubs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Cubs came out going down 28-0. They put back 22 points. This game is far from over. We're almost 2 hours into the game here. But I'll tell you what, we have a whole nother half, and let's see who makes the adjustments. Hopefully it goes in favor of our Cubs. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back with Ken Mashinsky, the head coach of Ramona High School. We're going to talk City of Riverside football and his Rams as we're back here live on Riverside TV.
Engine 1 AMR, respond with RPD for a traffic accident with injuries. In 1234 Main, cross of Columbia, 2 vehicles involved.
Each year, the Riverside City Fire Department responds to 40,000 emergency calls.
431. And the men and women of the Riverside Police Department drive Code 3 every day. We need your help so you know what to do when you see emergency vehicles.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right. So help us help you.
We need you to pull to the right.
The Riverside County Transportation Commission has partnered with California Operation Lifesaver to educate Riverside County residents about how to be safe around trains and railroad tracks. Here are 3 safety facts you need to know. First, trespassing on train tracks is not only dangerous and can lead to serious injury, it is also illegal. Second, you may not always be able to hear a train coming, which is why it's important to always stay off and away from tracks. And finally, it can take a train up to a mile to come to a complete stop. If an object or person is on the tracks and the train can't stop in time, unfortunately, a collision may occur. Now that you're the expert, you can help us spread the word by sharing these important safety messages with your friends and family. We thank you for practicing rail safety.
Trailing 50-22 right now here at halftime. We have the mayor from the city of Riverside, Patricia Lock-Dawson, joining us. And Mayor, you know, we've been talking about it. The theme of this game is the community support, the huge crowd here for the Cubs tonight. Here, just seeing the community of Riverside rallying around one of our football teams.
Well, it's no surprise, honestly, because that's what we do here in Riverside. We rally around our community. But, you know, if you love football, you're going to be out here. But this is like just incredibly cool to be here at this historic building.
So, huge crowd, great community support here, Mayor. And we're also going to talk to Mike Anderson in just a moment about the Model Deaf Committee. But I think it just shows the inclusiveness of the city of Riverside, and whether it's football or off the football gridiron, that everyone is welcome.
It's true. That's just what Riverside is. I mean, we consider ourselves an inclusive city. We even have a document of inclusivity, and the Model Deaf community has been approaching Riverside for decades. They work very closely with me and the mayor's office, so we just do all kinds of great things.
Well, Mayor-elect Terrest, we have the chairman of the board of the Model Deaf Committee with us as well. Thank you very much, Mayor. We appreciate it. Let's bring in Mike Anderson, the chair of the Model Deaf Committee as well. And first off, Mike, for folks who out there, Deaf Committee.
Now, the Model Deaf Community Committee, really, we work closely with the Office of the Mayor and all of the staff and the council and the deaf community at large. I mean, it's a variety of things that we do, from, you know, just deaf citizens, senior citizens, also deaf youth programs, and the School for the Deaf, and the Riverside School District, you know, all of it, and just a collaborative effort, just working together with all of the things that pertain to the deaf community.
So it sounds like, Mike, whether it's sports or not, there's a lot of things going on in the city of Riverside, and it sounds like you're in the middle of it.
That's right, yeah. I mean, I've been in Riverside for more than like 31 years. I've been working at this school for the deaf, and so, I mean, I've seen it in and out. It's really nice. I mean, we have a wonderful mayor. I mean, Ms. Lock-Dawson has been working collaboratively with us, and we're seeing lots of advancements and lots of things happening. And really, the city of Riverside and we, the Deaf Awareness Week, I mean, every year in the fall, in September, that is one of our biggest events. And we have a lot of people coming together and participating and getting to be a little bit more aware of the deaf community that's here in Riverside.
All right, so finally, Mike, the big question is, can the Cubs make a comeback here in the second half, down by 28 points?
Yeah, definitely. We have, yeah. I mean, I've been working at this school myself. I just recently retired. My heart is with them completely, and I feel definitely that they could catch up. When we went to Avalon, that game last week, oh yeah, we won. We didn't think we would. We were a little surprised, but yeah, and the same kind of thing is playing out right now. There was a lot of injuries that are happening right now, but these boys are going to come back strong, and we're looking forward to that.
All right, so do not count out the Cubs here in the second half. Mike Anderson, the chair of the Deaf Committee. Thank you so much, Mike. We really appreciate you joining us. And also, Mayor Patricia Lock-Dawson. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the time as well.
Thanks for helping us root our team to the win.
All right, and we've got another big name standing by for an interview. Jeff Bradford, I'm going to toss it back up to you because I hear the head coach of the Ramona Rams will be joining you.
You're darn right. He's the head coach of the Ramona Rams. He's the head coach of my Ramona Rams. He's Ken Mashinsky. How you doing, Coach?
Great, Jeff. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, let's first, before we get into everything, let's talk about Riverside football. How great of a year was it for the entire city of Riverside? We had 6 different teams make the playoffs, and they all won a first-round game. How impressive was that this year?
It's just fantastic. As a coach of Riverside School, it means a lot, obviously, for Ramona. But as a coach just in Riverside, for all those schools to go on and advance past the first round, and just really rep Riverside, and all the coaches around the area have just been kind of saying that hey, we are repping Riv and keeping it going. So, and then for Arlington to continue and get that CIF championship last night, and then obviously being here watching CSDR, it's fantastic.
Yeah, talking about CSDR, you and I talked quite a bit, and last week you were at Avalon. Your brother was refereeing the game, you said. How cool was it to go over there and watch CSDR play in that semifinal game?
It was fantastic. Just real fortunate that my wife was able to go, my son was able to go, and then not only to support CSDR, but then to also go and watch my brother ref and be able to support him. And I really don't have a connection with CSDR, but after that game, I just felt like such a connection, and the CSDR community really like brought us in. We were on the field talking to people, and it was great to come to this game at North and just see a lot of them and see some smiling faces, and I remembered them and they remembered me. So it was a really special trip, and really, really glad we made it.
Yeah, I remember as a kid playing in the Catholic Little Leagues, and CSDR was in our leagues, and I was saying early in the broadcast, they used to beat us in everything. We'd play flag football, they beat us 80-0. I'd say I never want to play football again because they were great. Baseball, they were just always so organized, and it comes down to, a lot of it comes down to, is there's a big history with CSDR, and Pete Lanzi is one of those guys. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but he was the head coach at CSDR for years. He was the first guy that brought the audible into football. He was the first coach to go into during timeouts, to go into huddles. There's a lot of history just from this little program here in Riverside.
Right, and it's fantastic, and we say this little program, but yeah, they've been around for a long time, and they're really making a statement here. And the score right now doesn't reflect exactly what they've done, but there's still a lot of game left. It's still the whole second half to play. It's just so great that CSDR is here, and for the people who are not here at this game, they'll never understand just what the crowd looked like. I was just on the field not too long ago talking to my wife and the mayor, and we turned around, and it was just a sea of red and so much support. So it's fantastic what they're doing.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like this. You have to have this game at a big location. They were talking about having it at CSDR, but it's become national news, world news. I mean, you look on the sidelines, there's probably $10 million worth of equipment from all these different news places. It's a pretty incredible thing, and to hear the crowd, it's so loud, and to see everybody so into this game, it's really palpable and a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's amazing being down on the sideline. I've never seen so many news crews and independent crews with cameras, and they're pushing by you, and it's great. And I was talking to Mike West, who's representing CIF. He's the principal at King, and he was down there, and he said he was at the Division I game last night between Mater Dei and Servite, and he said there's more camera crews here. So it's just, again, it's another special opportunity right now.
Well, it's a spike in history that CSDR is always going to remember, win or lose. This just shows that good football, and I mean 8-man football, I kind of equate it to the Arena Football League. It's a lot of fun. You get high scoring games, but these are very, very talented athletes.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. There's a couple of guys on both sides, on Faith Baptist and on CSDR, that could play well for the Rams and several programs in Riverside, and they are showing their talents right now. And it's a great game.
Well, let's focus a little bit over to your Rams, my Rams, I should say. By the way, I was at work last week, and a Ramona alumni or somebody that works at Ramona delivered a Ramona hat to me at Norte Vista High School. It didn't go over well because I wore it that whole day. I had the football players all coming over to me going, Jeff, why are you wearing, or Coach, why are you wearing a Ramona hat? And I said, I'm repping my high school.
That's right.
But yeah, it's just, I can say this, calling high school football for the city of Riverside these past 6 years has been a blessing because I get to meet guys like you. I get to meet the players. I get to meet everybody involved. I walk into the stadium tonight, and I have deaf people that watch our games and tell me how much they appreciate what we do for covering the city of Riverside. But let's talk about the Rams. I mean, Coach, you're in familiar territory. Every year you're in CIF, you're in the semis, you're in the finals. I mean, how have things changed so much for Ramona in such a short amount of time?
I just think that the kids have really bought in to the whole program. Ramona has a pretty rich history of football. They've been good, down a little bit in the past 10 or 15 years, but the kids that we have gotten the past 4, 5, 6 years, they've just bought into what we're doing. I also think that keeping a coaching staff together and having that the same guys coaching the same football team over and over, and not having that turnover of coaches, that's a very important deal. Now, obviously he's saying that with Arlington getting a brand new coach and win a CIF championship, that might not hold true all the time. But in Ramona's case, it's definitely held true. We have a great staff, and again, the kids buying in. Furthermore, the administration at Ramona has been so supportive and helpful and done exactly what they promised they were going to do, and it just transfers over to the football field, and we've been successful, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.
Yeah, I can remember the legends. There's guys that are in the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. You had Bill Vaughn, who was a longtime principal. You had Gene Knott, who was a great athletic director, and Rich Ramirez, who was also another. They were all athletic guys, and they were the administration we had at Ramona for so long. It's nice to see the administration kind of give back to those old days and support the athletic programs, because it really does benefit the children.
Absolutely. And from our principal down to the athletic director, even down to the staff at Ramona, it's been super supportive, and that support, the kids see that and they play harder for it, and that equals wins.
So your son was an amazing quarterback for the Rams this year. You had a great running back, Bo Bruins. Those guys are coming back next year, aren't they?
We do. We have, I think we have 16 or 17 returning starters next year for our football team, and we're going to have a good off season here, and barring injury, hopefully we have a great year. Just like last year was a good year. 10-2 is something to be proud of. Serrano gave us a good run for our money up there in the high desert. But I'm really looking forward to coming back. Not only being able to see my son play as a senior, but I want to see these guys. These guys mature a year. Our offensive line is four juniors and a sophomore, so they're going to have another year under their belt. The majority of our defense was all juniors, so a lot happens in an off year between your junior and senior year. So I'm actually very excited for next year.
Well, it's great to see you. I saw your assistant coach Frank Berber and his family. Alicia's here. They're two children. You have the Shiner family here from Ramona High School as well. I'll tell you what, Coach. You've been a great friend to the city of Riverside and Riverside TV, and I appreciate everything that you've done. Doing the coach's perspective and covering Riverside Ramona High School football. It's always a pleasure to have you, and good luck to you, and thank you for your insight tonight on this ball game.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you having me up here and giving me the opportunity to do this. It's always great to see you guys, you and Pep and the Riverside TV guys. You guys do a fantastic job of covering sports, so I appreciate it.
Well, he's Ken Mashinsky. I'm Jeff Gorham, and we are at halftime with the CSDR down 50-22 at half over I should say, by Faith Baptist, the Contenders. What a great name, by the way, for that. But we're going to be right back with the second half here on Riverside TV.
We are proud of the Riverside Police Department's tradition of integrity, service, and excellence. RPD officers are disciplined, well-trained professionals who always lean forward to make our community safer and more livable. We are always looking for mature, educated men and women who want to apply their courage and judgment to serve the people of Riverside. If that's who you are, we want to talk to you.
My name is Melissa Olmos, and I'm a driver operator in the Department of Refuse for the City of Riverside, and I've been doing this for 4 months already. I really enjoy it because this job is not like a routine, so every day is different. So I'm assigned to do the bookings. The residents call to the city to be serviced, and these items is large furniture, mattress, and appliance. The residents, they have 2 times a year, and these items I put it in the back of the packer, and the packer crashes and compact these items so I can take it to the dump. My favorite part of the job is driving the truck. Since I was younger, my dream was to be a driver. And now that the city of Riverside gave me this opportunity, I really enjoy it. I'm really proud of what I do because when I go to the residents' houses, I see the faces, they're happy because we're picking up the items they don't want anymore. So I try to get in here because this is a better job for me with a better stability. And I wanted to because I want to set a good example for my 2 daughters that I have. One of my hobbies that I have is go hiking. I like the outside activities like camping, and I also enjoy riding motorcycles. If I have to describe my job in one word, it will be it's perfect.
Hey folks, welcome back to John W. North High School here in Riverside, California. The Faith Baptist Contenders lead the California School for the Deaf of Riverside 50-22. Bradford Evans joined with my partner in crime tonight, Jeff Gorham. And I texted you when I had to go take a little break, Jeff, that it is a zoo down there in the stands.
It is chaos. In fact, it was great to see Ken Mashinsky and some of his Ramona players came up into the box. He got a chance to meet with everybody. His lovely wife. Yeah, he really outdid himself. He outkicked his coverage by marrying such a pretty lady. So, yeah, it's very, very nice to see the city of Riverside coming out here in full effect.
I think Pep has something. Might have heard that.
We want to go down on the sidelines?
Tell them to hold on because
We'll go to Pep in just a little bit. We're still trying to get things ironed out here as we start the third quarter. And Jeff, 50-22, you mentioned that's like a free throw lead in basketball here in 8-man football.
It's like a 1-point lead.
A 1-point lead. And just kind of talk me through what you think CSDR needs to do to try to cut into that lead a little bit.
Well, they need to stop 23. That's the big thing. 23 has been
a
beast.
That's Parker Mills has been unstoppable for them so far tonight.
And really the passing game, when they've get in that red zone, I'm telling you, Faith Baptist has been phenomenal when they've been 20 yards and in.
Yeah, they've been definitely effective, as you can see from the score, 50-22 right now. And CSDR did have a point in the last second quarter. For about 8 minutes, they were controlling the entire game.
They were, and it just happened. There was a couple little issues here at the end of the first half that really caused this change in score so rapidly.
So a run from Rasmussen, and we've been talking about Rasmussen a lot tonight. He's been one of the other key guys for this Faith Baptist team. If there are guys that you're going to talk about for this attack, it's Luke Rasmussen at quarterback and then Parker Mills at running back. Those are the two kind of 1A and 1B for Faith Baptist. And on the flip side of things, some good defense from CSDR in that first half, especially from the star man Trevin Adams making plays. 2 tackle for losses in that first half and much more as far as just sheer tackles.
Let's see if they can make some adjustments here. They just need to make stops. They can make some stops here early in the third quarter. They have a shot to get back in this ball game.
A tough opponent, but still, it's number 1 versus number 2. If there's a toss, Parker Mills, this guy is a tank, going out to the outside and scoring. My goodness, this guy can't be brought down.
Boy, and we just talked about him. Parker Mills has been phenomenal in this ball game. I think he would be this good at any level of football, Division 1 all the way down to 8-man football. He is a great player.
Yeah, he really is, and you can see the kind of the vision that he has when he runs through. He doesn't run through the tackles or holes a lot, but when he does, he can do it, and he can get to the outside as well.
He's an upright runner, very reminiscent of Marcus Dupree or Eric Dickerson type player. Very upright, doesn't get low in his stance, but very athletic and quick, laterally and
So here comes the 2-point conversion attempt. It goes to Parker Mills. Unfortunately for CSDR, they just do not have an answer for him tonight as he scores 2 more on the board. 58-22 now.
So a tough one here. And, you know, like I said, CSDR has not given up these kind of points this season, especially in the first half. This is just a juggernaut of an opponent. Got to tip our caps to the contenders, one of the best names ever for
You
Faith
like
Baptist.
it? You like it that much? I think it's pretty cool.
It's a great
That is
one.
high praise.
And it's I'll tell you what, that's really a fun game to be a part of. The score doesn't represent the magnitude of the importance here that we have with CSDR in the championship
No,
game.
it doesn't, because like we mentioned, this really is giving a chance for people who are deaf to know that they can achieve greatness, and just because they have a potential limit that is determined by others, you know, what they're hearing, like it's not the end of the world.
Yes.
Great things can be achieved regardless of disability.
And this is a very young program. I mean, they have everybody coming back but 2 players next year. Hey, this could be a learning experience for them. If they lose, hey, they know what they have to do to get to this next level. You know, they're going to spend a lot of time in the weight room in the offseason and just work on the fundamentals of football.
Yeah, and they may only get better, as you mentioned, just 2 seniors on this team. Trevin Adams, the star man, just a junior. Caden Adams, the brother who's a freshman, is going to be a sophomore next year. He'll be a guy to look out for CSDR. And you know what? We could see CSDR as a fixture in 8-man football here in the championship game in the future.
Yes, exactly.
Low snap. Stepping up in the pocket and almost completing that one into Felix Gonzalez. A good defense, though, by DJ McDaniel. DJ McDaniel is back in the game after he had a personal foul where he threw his helmet down on the sideline earlier in the first half, if you remember seeing that.
I do. So he is back. Maybe he had to apologize and serve his
Hey, sorry,
parents.
can I get back on the field? Yep. Something like that.
It is a CIF championship game. So the winner of this will be the CIF champs in the southern section.
Yeah, Division II. And 58-22 the score right now. We're going to kick it on over to our guy soon, Pep Fernandez, after a couple of plays. There's a run by Adams, and Adams is tackled by 2 white jerseys. Making the play there officially was A.C. Swadling. And now we're going to go over to Pep Fernandez. What do you have for us, Pep?
Hey guys, just a quick update on the CSDR Cubs going into the second half. There was a couple of injuries in the first half that were significant to Caden Adams and also Jory Valencia. And it looks like I see Caden out there already. Caden is going to play, it looks like, in the second half. Jory, though, that was more of a kind of a play it by ear thing, because right now we don't see Jory on the field. I'm taking a peek over there as they go back to live action. But they're hoping to see Jory at least on offense. Caden will focus on offense as well, because this team needs points right now. The Cubs need to mount a huge comeback and get in the end zone a bunch of times here in the second half.
Pep, thanks for the update. I completely agree there. Just got to try to find a way to get some points on the board, and that last pass was a good way to try to start out this drive for CSDR.
Yeah, you got to do something. You have to, it's like playing small ball in baseball. You got to manufacture runs. You got to manufacture points. You got to do whatever you can to put points on the board here and get momentum back in your favor.
Where is Billy Bean right now?
Where is Billy Bean? That is the big question.
He's somewhere. He may be at this game. We'll see.
Everybody's here.
Yeah, literally everybody is. As there's a big tackle behind the line of scrimmage on Philip Castaneda, trying to get the toss, but that was no go as Faith Baptist gobbles that one up. Cade Cashman was the man to blow that one up.
Yeah, CSDR having all kinds of issues here, as Faith Baptist really has made adjustments for themselves here after half.
Yeah, they have done that, and it's going to be second down coming up in quite a ways for the first down marker. But like I said, more space in 8-man football, maybe a chance to convert. We'll see. They do a reverse. Or actually, it was a keeper, and that goes for a moderate gain. maybe 3-4 yards there. Player down on the ground, though. That's not good. As Trevin Adams a little bit slow to get up. You can see the fake fooled the cameraman, fooled myself too. That's what I get for looking at the monitor, Jeff, instead of the action.
Well, it's kind of hard. There's a sea of people here, and they're all standing up for the majority of the game. We have to go to the monitor to watch it. But hopefully this young man is okay. The quarterback has been awesome tonight.
Yeah, Trevin Adams, been great, a true warrior. I don't think he's probably faced a team quite like this Faith Baptist Contenders team. They dropped down a division, so this is Division II 8-man football, and they went down because of school attendance numbers. That's kind of how it's determined in 8-man football. So this is a team that normally is maybe up a division, and they're showing that they have quite a bit of class here. With Faith Baptist leading 58-22, and you can see Trevin Adams going out, and that's probably going to mean that his brother Caden Adams is going to take over at quarterback for a little bit. We hope that everything's okay with Mr. Trevin Adams.
That's right. Now his brother now he goes, "It's your turn. Hey, it's your turn."
Sooner or later, it's going to be his show, right?
Exactly.
Well, Caden Adams is not just some guy. I'll go through some of his stats. He's a player. 20 carries so far this season, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, but passing, he's pretty darn good as well. 532 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So this kid can play as a freshman.
Holy cow, that is some good numbers.
Throwing the numbers out.
Good ones, great numbers.
Oh, a jump offside. That one's going to go against Xavier Gamboa, the freshman offensive lineman. And the jump is going to move this back 5 more yards as CSDR trying to mount a comeback here in tough circumstances.
Yeah, if CSDR is going to get back in this ball game, they're going to have to score pretty quickly here, because I do believe that there is a running clock still in effect, even in the playoffs in the fourth quarter if they're down 35.
Well, dropping and throwing into the hands of Faith Baptist. That's Parker Mills haunting CSDR on defense this time. He's been a nightmare to deal with offensively, and here he is getting a pick 6.
Holy smokes. We were just talking about him, and the first pass thrown by little brother goes in the hands of the... Mills has been phenomenal. That's it. He's just been
He's been the player of the game so far today, no doubt about it, and just been everywhere, and he saw what he can do on defense as the younger Caden Adams trying to throw that one in and just didn't see him. And that's going to give an even bigger lead to the Contenders, 64-22 the score right now. But with that being said, CSDR going to fight till the end, as it's an easy score for DJ McDaniel of Faith Baptist add on to that lead. Let's take a look at that pick 6 here.
Just go right into his hands.
Right into the hands of the opponents, and Parker Mills. You know, we don't have live stats in front of us, unfortunately,
we do not.
Jeff,
he
but
has
he has quite a few touchdowns.
He has all of them, it seems like. He has been all over the field on offense and defense. So probably your CIF player of the year, I would imagine, in this division, because he has been great all night long.
Well, you know what I just love as a play-by-play broadcaster, Jeff, is when teams pull their stats before the game, and you are prepping and you're trying to get ready for this game, and you don't have any access to statistics.
Yeah, and he was the guy. He would have been nice to know about prior to this ball game.
I would think so. I mean, we heard a little bit about Parker Mills talking to the coaches, but maybe not as in-depth as we would have liked to go on Parker Mills and just learn about him. But we've learned plenty from this guy tonight.
Well, it has been a great, like I said, a phenomenal season for the Cubs. It's just, it's tough. It's tough when you play a team that's, has won 16-plus championships and they're used to doing it. But I'll tell you what, it's great to be, playing in the big game. And all you can do is build from this. And like I said, CSDR, a young team. They're undefeated coming into tonight. They've got a lot to build on for the future.
Lots to build on and lots of history as well in the past. I know that people like to say, we don't think of the past because it's in the past. But so many good guys, like you said, we talked about Pete Lanzi a lot, legendary head coach. Jerry Moore on the 1965 team. He was selected as the Riverside County Player of the Year and was also chosen as the CIF Southern Section Player of the Year. He's the only deaf player to earn those honors, so that's pretty remarkable and just speaks about some of the talent that has come through here at CSDR.
That's great. I mean, just great stories, and it's nice to mention the past. Like we said, the Coach Lanzi, who was a staple here in Riverside for so many years, and it's great to have such a good story of CSDR this season. Just because they're not going to win this ball game doesn't mean that what they've accomplished it's just as big as winning the championship.
So they're having some issues as far as communicating, and this team has communicated so well throughout the season. That's been actually one of their strong points, but they're unfortunately Castaneda and Caden Adams not on the same page at all there, leading to a bobbled snap.
So we have gone to a running clock here.
66-22 the score right now. Second quarter, things got pretty close, but it's open. But Castaneda running to the original line of scrimmage and maybe 2 yards past that. A solid gain for Philip Castaneda as the drive continues for California School for the Deaf of Riverside.
Yeah, only 2 schools in the state of California. One of them in Riverside, the other in Fremont.
And they draw from, so down here in Southern California, the pool that they draw from for deaf kids, as there's a really good run here from Castaneda. Look at him weaving in and out for a nice little gain. But they have 11 counties to go from, whether it's Kern County, Inyo County, going up that north or way down south to San Diego, Imperial. There can be kids that can come from all over the place.
That's right. You were up in Bishop there for a while.
I was up in Bishop.
I always wondered, how was it being up in Bishop for a couple years?
It was good. It was very enjoyable. The people are wonderful up there. The football team is actually very good right now. Very good. Played in the Central Section, Division IV, lost early. I've been to some places. I'll just tell you that, Jeff. I've been to some places.
My only question is, did you enjoy the sheep herder's bread?
Oh, Shots? I loved it.
From Shots Bakery.
You got to get it when you go up there.
Every time we go up to Lake Tahoe, we make a stop at Shots Bakery. My kids love a babka. I, of course, like the sheep herder's bread and any other delectable they have there.
You got to get the banana walnut bread when you go up there. It's unreal.
But see, I'm kind of allergic to walnuts.
Oh, no.
My lips swell up. I already have pouty.
Hey, you could be like one of those women that
model.
Get the pouty lips.
Yeah,
just eat some walnuts.
Eat some walnut, but it does. I mean, they're huge. My lips get giant when I eat walnuts.
I mean, when you go into that place, it's literally like you're in a place like Disneyland. As there's a sack here. Faith Baptist's defense getting into it late too there, but yeah. Bishop is always going to be a special place, but also happy to be back home here in the beautiful Inland Empire.
Yeah, and covering so many football games here for the city of Riverside this season. We covered all of RCC's home games. RCC is playing Ventura this evening. So if RCC wins, they will play at Golden West next week. And if RCC were to win, they would play in the state championship at RCC. The championship game would go to Riverside this year because they were national champs 2 years ago. But yes, we've covered so many football games here at the city of Riverside, 25 plus this season, including CIF playoffs. It's been a great year here for the city of Riverside.
Yeah, Riverside College of Champions, a special place for me as well. Currently attending that, going and getting my nursing prereqs done, and I already attended it once, so I was like, you know what, why not go back?
That's great.
Gotta love it.
So we've been on, it's great to have Pep Fernandez back on the sidelines. Pep has had a great show on Friday nights
IMG Sports Weekly.
Sports Weekly with Pep Fernandez. He did it from his house most of the year, because usually he's in a nice studio in downtown San Bernardino, and he was doing it from his home. But he also was part of the Coach's Perspective here on Riverside TV. He joined me every week, and we did our top 5 rankings. I feel bad that we did not include CSDR in our rankings, or I would have changed the entire ranking system. Arlington, who wins the CIF championship, and CSDR going to the finals, a very big deal here in the city of Riverside.
Yeah, massive deal. All you need to do is look to the sideline and look to the crowd and see how proud everybody is of this team making it to the finals. Minute and 2 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Play action thrown over the top, and ever since Trevin Adams has gone out, it seems as though Caden Adams has been put in a peculiar spot, and they've been struggling a little bit offensively.
Yes, they have. And anytime you lose your star player, who's really he's a beast out there, you're going to have some issues. And right now, some of those younger guys are getting a chance to play in a CIF finals. You can't pass that up. They're always going to say, hey, I got to play in the CIF championship.
So play is snapped, and Castaneda is going way the wrong way. Let's see if he can break past the edge. Trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe losing a yard after all that. He's a bit upset after that, but still good effort. Trying to turn the corner, trying to make something happen for this Cubs offense, which has unfortunately been sputtering a little bit here on Riverside TV. Let's check in on our guy again. Pep Fernandez, just mentioned him, Jeff. Let's see what he's up to.
Hey, Jeff and Bradford, I heard you guys mention the Riverside City College Tigers in the Southern California semifinals, actually playing right now tonight on the road at top-seeded Ventura. Halftime score, Tigers on top by a score of 31-7. So RCC halfway home to advancing to the Southern California Championship game. Guys, back up to you.
So Riverside.
We're going to get another game on Riverside TV. If Riverside can pull up the upset tonight and to go into Golden West, we'll be on the call for the state championship game.
Golden West a tough opponent, but Riverside a tough opponent too. RCC, and that is the pinnacle of excellence for JUCO football.
Tom Kraft does a great job. Remember, he was a head coach at San Diego State. But, Riverside, the national champions 2 years ago, and they lost earlier this season. They have 2 losses.
Yeah.
One of them was to Golden West. And a game they should have won. They came in. They came out flat. And I'll tell you what, Golden West really took advantage of it early on, and that's why they were able to walk away with the victory. I don't think they can beat Riverside 2 times in a row, though.
We'll see if that's the case. But that should be an exciting prospect if RCC can indeed pull it off tonight. And
it was nice seeing Pep. Pep looked like he got a shave and a haircut today before the big game.
Hey, he knew he was going to be on camera. He said, you know what? I'm on camera more than Jeff and Bradford, and I got to look as good as I possibly can.
We start the fourth quarter here.
So another run. And now we're in the fourth quarter now, Jeff. Clock continuing to run as this one seemed to pull away from CSDR a tad bit, but still crowd here. Nobody's left. And I told Jeff a little bit earlier, and I mentioned it, it was like the 405 south or north trying to get through there into the snack bar, bathroom, whatever you wanted to try to get to.
I'll tell you,
everybody was there.
I bet the snack bar made millions tonight.
They probably did.
That's what really makes me upset. Normally, I can come to these high school games at halftime. I can go down and get my nachos, my hot dog. But tonight, I couldn't. I couldn't get down there. There was no way in heck I was going to be able to walk out of here. I'm wondering how the heck we're going to get out of here with parking-wise. It'll be like Dodger Stadium. We'll be out of here.
No, it'll be like Qualcomm Stadium. Back in the day.
Yeah, it's gone now.
I know. They blew it up because the parking was so bad.
Yeah. And I'm worried about our parking. We might get home before 11. It's 7:30 now, but you never know.
Home before 11. you never know. But in all seriousness, man, there are a lot of people here, and you may be onto something there, Jeff, with a large contingency
is kind of leaving now, which is good for us, I hope.
Well, we'll see if that's the case, as there's a run by Mikey Urena in for the score. Urena scores a touchdown for Faith Baptist and the Contenders.
It looks like they're going to bring it back. I think it's a hold.
So 2 flags on this play, actually. See what they are as the officials having a conference. Holding on the offense, penalties declined, and then another hold is accepted. So that's going to move Faith Baptist backwards in the wrong direction. And let's see if CSDR can get a couple more points on the board here with Caden Adams at quarterback. Things have not gone as well as when Trevin Adams was there. Caden Adams still just a freshman, playing in front of probably the biggest crowd he's seen. In that last game, they played against Avalon. About 100 people showed up to that one. 100 red jerseys to root on CSDR in that semifinal game on Catalina Island. Making the trip on the Catalina Express. Always a good time. I got to get out to Catalina more, though. That's a neat place, like you mentioned.
I've gone out there several times. Like I said, I used to take my teams out there and bring out the family. And just a great time. It's like another world. You know, I like to travel the world with my family. But going over to Catalina is a nice little trip. Feels like you're in a different country. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and just how long does it take? I went there when I was like 12. It takes like 50 minutes to get there.
Yeah, it's just you
something
get on that
like that.
Blaze over in that Catalina Express. Or you can take a plane.
You can take a plane. You can take your private jet.
Yeah, that's it. Rich Jeff is going to take his private jet over there.
I'll be riding Spirit Air over there. Anyway, 3-yard gain or so on that, but I think there is a piece of yellow garment down there.
I mentioned earlier, Pete Lanzi, you know, he said he was playing on the field when the first flags were ever used by officials. So think of it this way. He was on the field for the first time they had flags. He started the audibles that everybody to this day now runs from the sidelines. That's a CSDR thing. So storied football history from CSDR. It just had to be uncovered tonight.
Yeah, and you let everybody know that. Good research, good doing your homework there.
You know what my research was, though? It was sitting around with a bunch of old Riverside guys, old coaches this week. You know, sitting around with my dad and his buddy Mark Guard, and we talked a little bit about CSDR, and these stories came up. And I remember as a kid sneaking on the campus of CSDR, breaking in, entering into their gym to work on my game.
Look at that. It's benefiting everybody. As Mikey Urena scores another touchdown. This is back-to-back touchdowns for Urena. And every once in a while, sometimes just talking to guys that know history in Riverside is the best way to prep.
Well, it helps. It's always nice when your dad's a Riverside Sport Hall of Famer, and his best friend and my best friend, Mark Guard, he's a Riverside Sport Hall of Famer. So it's kind of nice, and I'm also on the board, so I hear all the stories from the years of following high school sports, and then from friends like my dad, Mark Guard, and various coaches in Riverside.
So now the score's 72-22. 2-point conversion is good as well. And it'll only be a few more minutes, 6.5 minutes at that, before this is official. And CSDR, and you can't say they didn't fight. You can't say, I mean, look at their record right now. If you look back in history, 5-5 in 2019, 2018, 3-6, 2017, 4-5, and here they are 12-0 right now, their best season ever.
I'll tell you what, Coach Keith Adams has done a great job. I mean, people need to look at this man more and pick his brain, because he's done a remarkable job with communicating to his team. They're organized, they're disciplined, and I know a lot of coaches could take a lot from Coach Adams.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no debating that. Keith Adams doing an excellent job here for the Cubs. his two boys, Trevin and Caden, on the team. And their first postseason win came in 2019 for CSDR when they played St. Michael's Prep of Silverado. And that was the first postseason win, which is just remarkable and showing that Keith Adams has this program playing the right way.
He does, and like I said, a young program, a young team, and I expect to see them back next year so we can cover the darn game on Riverside TV.
Let's hope so.
We're going to have to get
this
out
has been
more.
a lot of fun, Jeff. It's been my first game doing Riverside TV for you guys, and I just remember when I started doing broadcasting, I was covering games with Jeff. It's always been a blast doing a bunch of games, and I'm certainly hoping this isn't the last game we ever do.
Nope. Bradford, I'm sure you're stuck with me for doing many more, my friend.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that it's not that many. like maybe let's make it an annual thing instead of
a once a year
thing.
A
one-off kind of thing.
I was pretty kind to you. I didn't mess with you too much tonight. I have a tendency.
I didn't wear my ascot.
No, if you don't wear your ascot, I was going to give you $100. I told you.
And producer in my ear wants to know what your thoughts are about Matthew McConaughey.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been compared to Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
I don't know why,
but sure you have.
My other broadcast partner, Nick Rice, has a fascination with Matthew McConaughey. He has no concept of pop culture, but he knows everything about Matthew McConaughey. And he told me that I reminded him of Matthew McConaughey. I think it's my dashing good looks or my hairline.
It's got to be both of them. And now, Jeff, into more serious matters. We have Pep Fernandez again on the sideline. Pep, what's going on?
Guys, there's a lot of, folks here, alumni, a lot of folks from around the community, from different schools, in fact, cheering on the CSDR Cubs tonight. The ASB director joining us here as well. And it's a very special night because it's a huge turnout. And are they happy? Are you happy with the turnout and the way Riverside has supported the Cubs this season?
Really, it's wonderful for the deaf community in Riverside always. This is a really tight-knit community. I mean, this is our home. This is our family. It's just really a wonderful thing.
I see folks out here, with special fancy hats and lights and posters and signs. They've just really embraced the Cubs. They love this championship run. Why has it been special for you?
I grew up here. There's not enough deaf representation in the world. So because there isn't enough, this right here, to have the deaf community and the football team make it all the way, and then to have all of us, the spirit here, it's just so much love in this. There's just so much. Really, we have each other's back. I mean, really, it's just an amazing, it's a great thing. So it's not just special for me, but it's special for us all, for the entire Riverside deaf community and Riverside community at large.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Guys, let's go back up to you. I know time's running out. We're working on one more very special interview, so stand by for that one as well.
Pep, we'll be looking forward to that one. Good stuff there on the sideline. And, this is going to be a special moment. Even if it is a loss, Jeff, this is remarkable. I mean, we have national media out here covering this because it's such a big deal. I mean, this is really a story.
It is a great story. It's a great story for the deaf community, for maybe a student that is unsure to play sports, and maybe they can inspire somebody to come out and play, because the deaf community is a tight community. We've had deaf students work here on Riverside TV. This season, we had a student from Riverside Poly work a camera. I mean, those are some of the things that probably a lot of the deaf community and kids don't know that they have an opportunity to do. So if we can give them an opportunity to do these things, it's great for the city of Riverside and for the deaf community.
Yeah, great for the city of Riverside and great for almost anybody that's dealing with any sort of disability, physically or mentally or things like that. There's no limits that you should set on yourself. So we're going to actually turn it back over to Pep. He has a special guest on tap. We'll be flipping it over to Pep now. Pep, what do you have? my mistake in just a little bit, in 40 seconds.
Yeah, we have a great interview that Pep is preparing for. I see who he's getting ready to talk to, and what a phenomenal story. I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Just 25 seconds before it's official here. Faith Baptist are going to win another CIF title. 9-2 on the season, going to go to 10-2. CSDR 12-1, but with that being said, this team fought all season long, and it's been just a truly remarkable scene here at JW North High School, as I got tongue twisted, as we're getting ready to talk to Pep Fernandez. Let's go over to Pep and see what he has to offer.
Hey guys, so yeah, we're down here live on the sideline. I know it's a little chaotic now as they bring the trophies out for the post-game celebration, but we wanted to squeeze in one more interview, and this one is very, very special. We have Patricia Davis. She is the very first student for the California School for the Deaf here in Riverside, and Patricia came to the football game tonight. So Patricia, why did you want to come out tonight and support the Cubs football team?
Oh, I'm so proud of my school. They've worked so hard. I mean, those boys, yeah, we're supporting them all the way. I mean, CSDR, it's my second home. I've always been there, and it's always been there for me.
Being the very first student in CSDR history, how has the school maybe changed in the last 68 years?
The difference is dramatic. Yeah, I mean, all of like the CSDR itself, you know, it's gone because of the state, you know, the rules, the codes, you know, the dormitories are completely different. They've changed into cottages. You know, everything is dramatically different, but it is for the better for all.
Well, Patricia, I know tonight's score is not what we wanted it to be tonight, but still a very great season. How proud are you of this football team this year to reach the championship game?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Wow. I mean, their record is just so impressive. In the past, yeah, we did have some good winning streaks. You know, but after that, it kind of just dissipated, and now we just came back with a whole nother crop of kids, different kids. This coach has been working with them well, then they work together well, and I'm here to support them. And I mean, it is so wonderful.
All right. Thank you, Patricia. We appreciate it. And again, Patricia Davis, the very first student in CSDR history. Guys, I'll toss it back up to you because it looks like they are getting set for the trophy presentation on the field for Faith Baptist and the runner-up for the CSDR Cubs. Guys, back to you.
Pep, good stuff there. And Patricia Davis, very interesting interview there. The first student ever in CSDR history, and she's got to be just so proud.
Yeah, and really, it comes full circle. Patricia there talking, and to finish up the first CIF Finals appearance here for CSDR. What a great story, and just a great story the entire season for Riverside.
Yeah, just remarkable. The final score in this one, though, 74-22 in favor of Faith Baptist. But CSDR, I have a feeling they're going to be back here more often than not. Anyway, for Jeff Gorham, my name is Bradford Evans. We'll see you next year.